Stuff, mumbling, pineapple stuff, dabbling, controversial stuff. Now I know y'all be loving this shit right here. NICK, mumbling is right here. People in the house, put them hands in the air. Cause if you don't vote, then we don't care. 1, 2, 3 times 2 to the 6. Jonesing for your fix of that Dabbling Politics mix. And when I fudge, you laugh punk. Shut the fudge up and back the front up while we fudge this track up. On your flags up, on your flags up, on your flags up, on your flags up, on your flags up. Torn in, now we torn out. Hands up now, hands down. Back up, tell me what you're gonna ducks now. Republicans in now, Democrats out. Guns up now, hands down. Back up, tell me what you're gonna vote now. Dabbling, 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 dabbling. Keep dabbling, 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 dabbling. Come on. Keep dabbling, 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 dabbling. 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 You wanna mess with dabbling in politics? You can't mess with dabbling in politics. Listen, we debate it all every week Saturday night, and this YouTube thing right here. Yo, we're doing it all the time. So you better get some better views and get fame for all your time. So we got the gang set, so don't complain yet. 24/7, never begging for a rain check. Old school dabblers blasting out the political shit. The bashing for shit, put bounce in the dabble pit. On your flags up, on your flags up, on your flags up, on your flags up, on your flags up. Torn in, now we torn out. Hands up now, hands down. Back up, tell me what you're gonna ducks now. Republicans in now, Democrats out. Guns up now, hands down. Black up, tell me what you're gonna vote now. Dabbling, 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 dabbling. Keep dabbling, 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 dabbling. Come on. Keep dabbling, 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 dabbling. 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 Hey ladies, where you at? Hey fellas, where you at? And the dabblers that don't give a fuck. Where you at?
Welcome to Dabbling in Politics. I am OG Mumbling Nick. With me, as always, is Mr. Liquid Cryptid. Hello, sir.
Good evening, everybody.
Apologize for the issues. I had to change videos. Well, giving too much away, Mr. Liquid Cryptid is on the road having a nice travel vacation. We were trying to figure out the issues. I think it was actually, it might be he thinks it might be the Wi-Fi or internet where he is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was my problem. It was my problem. Although everything is strong, it might have like dipped out or something. Like I don't know.
It was anyway. So that's why he's not on camera. His high-tech gadgets may have been part of the issue. Well, with the not the issue, but with the possible Wi-Fi issues. My ugly, nose up mug will probably be back on screen next week. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Like I've said before, I've just been dealing with some health shit that a lot of there's still some scary stuff, but a lot of it's getting better. So hopefully, I sometimes I got to get up and move around. Sometimes I feel like hot. Sometimes I'm not feeling great. So I got to, with the mask and the hood, it doesn't help. So anyway,
I hope you feel better.
Thank you. So we didn't, for the second week in a row, we didn't have much planned because he's on vacation. I've been dealing with stuff, but like 3 weeks ago, we were going to cover Tom Myers. Thank you, Written Asylum. I appreciate it, man. It's appreciate it. So, yeah, we were, Liquid actually found it. Like I'm actually someone I know of Tom Myers, but I never paid any attention to the guy. I know he doesn't deal well with his his critics or trolls or whatever he wants to call them. That's pretty much all I knew. But Liquid sent me a video to watch, and oh my god! Coincidentally, I think it may have been the video that Carl and some of the guys just watched on WATP, with some of Tom's quote unquote political jokes that were just not jokes. They were so fucking bad.
Oh, they're terrible.
Like,
It's
go on.
as I said, it's you know where he's going with it. You know what he's trying to do, and you want to try to make what he said into a joke, but there's no joke there.
Right. Yeah, it's like there were times where I was like, that. I'm not even gonna lie. It kills me to say this. Stuttering John's stand-up is 1,000 times better, or not that far. Stuttering John's stand-up is better than whatever the fuck this guy is doing. You know.
His stand-up isn't great either.
Right. It's just fucking awful. So we were talking backstage. We were trying to figure out, like, we're throwing a few things around that we were going to do, but it sounds like until next week, like, hopefully things will get back on track with the usual political / Dabbleverse stuff. We were gonna, well, Tom Myers is Dabbleverse. We were going to watch. I'll put it on 1.25, 1.5 speed. We're going to watch some of, because we'll never get through the whole thing, but some of Tom Myers on WATP the other day with Adam Bush.
Which I have not yet seen.
Which he has not seen. I watched live, and it was unbelievable. Adam Bush did his thing. Vinny was good. Producer Chris was the only one. He didn't say anything. I don't even think he said anything. I think he was just letting those guys do what they were going to do. Yeah.
For real.
Oh my god! When you watch this, we're in Asylum. I don't know if you've seen this, but it's just so I kind of pride myself on being self-aware. Now, which I also agree with. It's not really my place to say if I'm self-aware. It's like other people, but I feel like I know I mumble. I know I'm not great at this stuff. That's why I used to write instead of like talk about politics. But it's like, fuck it, it's the Dabbleverse. Just give it a shot. I am very self-aware of my shortcomings when it comes to this stuff. Tom Myers comes off as one of the most delusional people I've ever seen. when you watch it, like, he can't take any criticism. He can't take constructive criticism. He can't take advice. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think he realizes he's partly being trolled here, but it's like he thinks he's not that he doesn't think he's a great comic, but he doesn't understand why people have issues with his jokes, with all this shit. It's amazing.
It's incredible. He even he will even maintain to his day that the bong hit transplant joke is really good because everybody's always talking about it. He's like, it's good because everybody's always talking about it. Like, that's my thing. That's my joke. That's why I keep doing it, because it makes people talk. And it's like, no, they talk because it's bad.
Yeah.
But he thinks it's great. He's, as I said, exceptionally delusional.
I think that comes up, and one of the things that gets brought up is like pretty much like you should only talk about, or you should only joke or talk about things you understand. And clearly, by that kind of joke, Tom doesn't understand drug use. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
shouldn't you be trying to make jokes about these? So like if I was trying to be a comic, that's something I could talk about. And I could try and make joke. I know like what could be funny. I know the truth about drug use. Tom, he doesn't know. And like I said, I can't remember how far. I watched this live, so I can't. I've never watched this replay here, but hopefully we get to that part. The whole thing's just amazing. So, shit. I'll start it on 1.25 speed. If we got to bump it up to 1.5, I will. But here we go. And if anytime you want me to stop Liquid, just say something, and I will hit pause, and we will talk about whatever the fuck this train wreck is.
I'll let you know.
Here we go.
I'm so excited for his first appearance live here on WATP. He's a personality. He's a podcaster. He's a political pundit. He's a lightning rod of misperception. He's a comedian. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tom Myers.
Pause.
There we go. I just unmuted myself like a professional podcaster. Gentlemen, how are you? Thanks for having me on.
Yep.
We are.
Just hit space bar to pause it.
Yeah, I was literally in the process. I was gonna put up the 1.5 just to see. Move it.
No, 1.25 is fine. Actually, you could probably just slow it down. Still can't figure out the green screen setting in
oh yeah,
in
I think that comes up his head or whatever. Yeah.
You literally go to settings, click I have a green screen, and it gets rid of the green glow. And you don't have to fiddle with a whole bunch of settings to fiddle fuck with it. Or more than likely what he has is the screen is too close to the back of his head and he doesn't have it lit.
Yeah. And like I said, that's something else where I totally admit I am not tech at all. Like I almost think it inadvertently works for like our show because you're the right side, which is more pro-capitalist. Texas like, oh, you got the fits, and I'm the little social, you know what I mean? And I got the fucking nothing. I'm in my living room with a fucking blue wall behind me. Yeah.
You got the communist computer.
Right.
Capitalist computer.
And I like to say it's intentional. It's not, but it kind of works. So it's like I think I've said that to people. Like, yeah, it's a nice little analogy for what we're doing.
I'd never even thought about it like that either. But that's true. That's kind of funny how that worked out.
So yeah, I was like I said, I wish it was on purpose. It wasn't, but it's just what I do. But it works. All right, let's see what Mr. Tom has to say.
Oh yeah, by the way, be sure to Venmo Tom Myers, Venmo, Patreon, Super Chats, was it Rumble Rants, Cash App.
I didn't even tell you, like I don't know why you reminded me of this. I actually went on Jake's show Friday night and then briefly last night.
Yeah, I saw the Friday night one. I saw a little bit of it with Liam.
Yeah.
Liam and Ashley.
Yeah. I wanted to like warn. I had a feeling Liam was in there just to fish for, I was 99% sure, but whatever. It wasn't my show, not my place. But yeah, it was interesting because obviously being with Jake, I got held back both times. So it was, the discussions were interesting.
I was upset that I learned about it after the fact because I think I would have been available to do that if I'd been paying attention. Because I'd love to have been on with Liam.
Yeah, it was a good opportunity. I know Jake just assumes he's like, Liam, Nick. I'm like, Liam doesn't know me, dude. Like I know Liam may know of me, but I've never talked to Liam, in my life. So
yeah, I just wanted to get on and call Liam the 50-year-old film student.
I know. I'm glad you. That's what sucks about being on with Jake. I try to be too polite sometimes. I should just get in there. Fuck it.
I don't. I literally called Chris Peeps a whiny little bitch last week.
Yeah, he's got some interesting characters on there.
When he was upset that Jake didn't use his headset, that whole thing, his amazing $30 headset that he sent him, and I was just like, yeah, I should probably just throw that in the trash.
Speaking of which, that Tom Myers there, that I forget what they're called, that the little, so it doesn't get the pop on the microphone, the guard he's got there. That looks like the one you get at the fucking dollar store he's fucking using right there.
Well, to be fair, the one that I have on my mic back at home it also looks about the same.
Yeah,
they're really cheap. You don't really need much for a pop filter.
Right.
At least he's addressing the mic correctly now. He did have it pointed at him like a shotgun mic, even though it's a side address.
Oh my god! Like I'm an idiot, but the first thing, the mic I bought, it's the same. A few people have it in the Dabbleverse.
The Blue Yeti. That's the one I have.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So it's like first thing I did was figure out which setting was what and which end. You know what I mean? The talk.
Yeah, it's a side address mic.
Yeah. There's one where you can do the front, you can or both sides of it, whatever. But it's not the top. It's never the top. You don't aim it at you. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So excited you're here, and we have so many questions. I've been sent so many questions from so many people.
No,
I have.
People send questions. I find that hard to believe.
It's the theme of the whole show. But for those of you who are not familiar with Tom, if there's anybody that hasn't heard of you, just here's some of the things that comedians have said about you really fast. Shane Gillis said, Tom Myers is awesome. It was an honor to introduce you to his wife and that he listens to your albums on the road. Louis J. Gomez called you a killer.
Shane Gillis is a dirty fucking liar.
I was trying to figure out if this was like a troll. Like someone in the chat, I remember right away was like, Shane Gillis isn't even married, which I don't know if he is or not. But I actually assume, I think Adam's being, serious here to set him up for some shit.
Yeah, it's got to be a setup because I seriously doubt that Louis J. Gomez or Shane Gillis have anything positive to say. But anyway, let's go.
Okay.
Guest he's ever had on his podcast. And Ghost Gum wrote a piece about you that has 500,000 views, and he says that your work is the great anti-comedy that exists today. He thinks you're an Olympic athlete of that sort of thing. How does that make you feel?
I agree. It is anti-comedy.
So real quick, this is something he should lean into, and they try and get him you'll see, they try and get him to be like, are you doing anti-comedy? Is that what you're doing? You know, because if you are, then blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? But nope, you'll see, he'll insist he's doing straight up, you know, set up, punchline, set up, you know. And,
I know that's what he thinks he's doing.
Right, that's what he thinks he's doing. It's the worst shit you've ever heard in your life.
When you hear that.
Oh, I tell you what, so much critical acclaim. If I ever write a book, that's all that's all going in on my bio, on my that's going on the book jacket. Like every single one of those comments.
But I mean, we get a lot of good comments. We get a lot of bad comments. Shane Gillis also said that he can't tell if Tom has any self-awareness at all or if he has too much self-awareness. There's definitely no in between, though. Louis J. Gomez also said you were the least successful guest he's ever had on his podcast. And Tim Dillon said that Tom Myers looks like a Make-A-Wish kid who never died. So I guess my question is, how do we process the good?
And there's the setup, and see, that's better, Tom.
Yeah.
That's, you know, you can set up and do punchlines that way. Not whatever the fuck you're doing. Jesus Christ.
Well, Adam's a professional. They did say they listened to a special.
Oh, Shmuel, come on, man. Oh, I get what you're saying. Never mind.
Wait, Tom has a special?
Oh,
How'd that happen?
I think he's got more than one. He's got at least one.
Is it one of those where he recorded it for YouTube kind of specials?
Yeah, that's my guess. I mean, it seems like everyone. I mean, no offense to Zen, you know, because I like Zen, but I think Zen's hilarious on TSN. The special, not so much, but it's like, you know, anyone can have a special. I mean, I think Ray DeVito's made specials. You know, it's just make your own fucking shit, I guess. But
oh yeah, no, I think that in today's day and age, any comic should have a special that, you know, they record and they edit up and they put on YouTube. That's the best way to do it these days.
Mm-hmm.
Every comic should do it. That's what I don't think I ever saw anything about Tom Myers having actually done that. And I haven't done it. I've just started doing a deep dive on Tom Myers before I took my trip here. Oh, it's 4 or 5 years old. Okay.
We'll dig it. If we find it, that might be something we'll go over.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. For those of you that just got here, like, I can't remember if I brought it up backstage or on air, but this is something, not this particular, but going over Tom Myers was something Liquid brought up to me like 3 weeks ago. He sent me some shit. It was like so bad. It was like, all right, he's doing political jokes, quote unquote jokes that were just so fucking bad. So we were going to go over those and talk about the jokes, the politics of it or whatever. And that's when my health issues really kicked. So I had to cancel. And then he's been on vacation. So we haven't gone over it. So now it's kind of passed by. So we're going to go over this, but I was so mad when, like, just days after he suggested we go over this, all of a sudden Tom's on with fucking Adam Bush. I was like, fuck, we could have done this like right before he went on, and then maybe, you know, get a little traction off of it.
Maybe got a little juice out of it.
Yeah. Instead, it looks like we're just following the leader now when you came up with the idea like right before it even happened. But
well, Carl came up with the idea years ago. But,
oh, that's right. Yeah.
But because he's political, he's more in our wheelhouse.
Right,
really.
right.
So Carl really only goes over his, you know, opening monologue jokes, where his whole political shows, like, as I said, is in our wheelhouse, and it's just as awful.
Yeah, I was even thinking, well, actually, I think Eckel was the one that brought it up to me, like even some Alex Stein stuff, because I told him how I knew who Alex Stein was before I was in the Dabbleverse, because he was showing up on the political shit I was watching. So, you know, maybe go over some of his old shit sometime too. That little way we can connect it, make it a little more entertaining than just the, you know, I still like to do the standard debate stuff when some really juicy topics come up in the real world that you and I disagree on. But, you know, in between, we can try and do the Dabbleverse political shit. So it connects, you know.
Good and the bad together.
I mean, well, the way I process it is I just don't give a shit.
Okay.
Like I haven't cared really for a long time. Yes, I know that there's some acclaim out there. It's positive. Some out there that's negative. I take it all.
Mostly negative.
Some of the negative.
What's that?
Mostly negative.
Yeah, it's bad. Reason come down. Looks on. Yep. Chris Mack knows everything. You need to know something, just ask Chris Mack. Absolutely. Especially Dabbleverse real life knows it all.
Negative ones, believe it or not, I actually find quite amusing. and others, it's just fun to
What do you mean by
go
amusing?
after them.
What do you mean by amusing?
I mean that I sort of want to go ahead and acknowledge it and just go after it and just go ahead and respond to it in my usual chipper self.
So that would not be ignoring it at all. That would be letting it affect you and retaliating head on against it.
Yes.
Well, some of them I ignore. Some of them are just shit.
No.
But then
Yeah, it's you'll see. Oh, like I guess I get why people might not like Adam. I fucking love Adam. I love.
I love Adam too. Yeah.
I actually, part of me, like Adam, Adam said some very nice things about me the other day. I'm guessing maybe our friend Ava might be in his ear because I don't even know how I'm showing up on his radar or whatever. But it's like, man, it'd be fun to do something with Adam, but it'd also be kind of scary because I don't know how he dissect whatever the fuck we're doing or whatever. But
no, I'd like to do something with Adam, but I just don't know what, because
right,
we're not people that are on the list of going that Carl's going after or anything like that.
Yeah,
which is who Adam is trying to get with, all these like locales and stuff.
Right. I know. I always
I just don't know what we'd talk about with him.
Yeah, like the only thing I can think of, like I find people, and I'm interesting too. Like I find how people vote extremely interesting. How they react to politics, very, like it's WWE instead of like fucking real life and shit like that. And I think Adam likes to talk about people and what makes them tick. But that's the only thing I could think of. I can't really think of other shit besides that. But yeah. I don't know. Who knows?
Oh, and to answer Chris, yeah, when Tom was going after Aaron. Oh my God, that was so terrible. It was like,
I don't think I know much about
the
that.
stupidest thing. Basically, just like said some dumbass shit in a super chat, just like, "Hey, I'm sniping you. What do you think about that?" Or some dumb shit like that. And then Aaron is just like, "Yeah, okay, whatever. I'll block him." And then Tom is like, "Oh, I got him. I got him so good. I got him." And it's just like, no, you didn't. You didn't do shit. You just got blocked, and the guy moved on, and this is Aaron that I'm trying to defend here, which is retarded. Don't
That's what the
defend Aaron at all.
does here. Yeah, I found myself defending fucking Kiki the other day against Nick Cater, and I can't fucking stand that woman. But that's what happens when two terrible people in the Dabbleverse start going after each other.
Oh man, I loved that episode of of this little pig. It reminded me so much of internet blood sports from back in the day.
Oh, Casey Armstrong's gonna have him on.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't even hear.
Pretty
about
soon.
that.
Yeah.
Nice.
I just saw it come up on YouTube. Anyway.
Yeah, here we go.
Then there's others I don't. It's like I pick and choose. It's almost like I pick and choose. Like whenever I'm invited on some shows, I pick and choose which ones I want to do. Like I go ahead and I weigh the pros and cons. Like, is this going to benefit me? How is this going to hurt me? And then I just make an educated decision.
Yeah, yeah. He can't handle.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
what went through?
Does this guy not like me because I don't want to be on his show?
I don't want this to come off wrong, but he's like our buddy Jake Hudson, but without the excuse. You know what I mean? Of like why things bother him. Like you say something to Jake and he blocks you, whatever. Like Tom's like a grown man, supposed to be a fucking comedian, and he's supposed to have the thickest skin in the fucking world. But nope,
not even
close.
The process of deciding whether to come on WATP or not.
The fact that I got on a lot better with you on Hughesy's show that I thought I would. So, and then, you sort of extending the invite to come on, and I thought to myself, okay, I really have. Maybe I have nothing to gain. I don't know, but I certainly have nothing to lose. So why not?
Okay. Sound logic,
well, if there's nothing to lose. Blind Mike said in an interview you did with him that you're not the easiest person to work with. What are some examples of that? How would that manifest itself?
It's like the perfect opening question for this guy. Like, pretty much like when you're at work and they're like, tell us what you need to improve, or and is he going to come up with something real, or is he going to be like, oh, I try too hard, or I demand perfect, so is he going to have a real criticism of himself or not? Is he going to be fucking delusional? I didn't mean to put that up. Sorry, guys.
I honestly don't know. I admit that I do have some qualities that are that do turn off a lot of people. I can be very.
Me too, buddy. Welcome to That's you and me.
I can be very stubborn. I can be set in my ways. Like I have this sort of like bullshit meter in my head. Like whenever I think someone's getting ready, whenever I think someone's just fucking with me, or whenever I'm being trolled, and then if I go ahead and respond.
Yeah. Oops, sorry, I was away from the mic. Yeah.
Yeah, it's obviously faulty. It's not really working right now.
I mean, this shit will come up later. Like he's set in his ways, shit. Like I said, they'll try and give him some constructive criticism and stuff, and he's just like he contradicts himself over and over again. I won't get ahead of myself. You'll see. But yeah.
Well, he did the same thing when he was on with Husey and Adam Bush. He was constantly contradicting himself. He was, like when he said, he's in high school, which I don't understand why all these 40-year-old guys talk about when they were in high school. He talks about when he was in high school and he had to be tough because he was picked on.
Oh my God!
With all the jocks and everybody,
that comes. He brings this up. He brings that up during this. He brings it up again. Yeah, that same fucking thing. Unreal.
As such, then that I'm being seen as difficult or or not funny, thin skin. But it's like I go ahead and like everything that comes my way, I just process it all the same way. And some I react some ways to I react it in some ways and some to another.
You trolled Aaron Imholt pretty hard, eh?
It was just something to do. I wanted to see if I could do it.
And you
can't.
This is where Adam's great. Like he's trying to lull him into being comfortable. Like, oh yeah, you did great. You trolled him, and just to fucking set him up and fucking knock him down. That's what I love about the guy.
Oh,
yeah, I was actually kind of.
Yeah, he's the best.
Proud of the result.
I just like to have like sort of the quick analytical mind of Adam.
Right. Like, go on. Sorry.
He's so quickly like just gets to the root of anything everybody says. Where I'm just going like, oh yeah. After he says it, I'm like, man, I wish I had such a quick analytical mind to just take something that somebody says and then just get to the root of what they actually said, rather, or what they mean, rather than what they said. It's really good.
And I love the like I think he does it a couple times in this. Like he'll say something, he'll ask a question, Tom won't answer it. He'll give some like analogy or whatever, and it'll be like, oh, what's that saying? Be like blah blah blah, that Chinese proverb, blah blah blah. And Adam's like, yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about, but blah blah blah, answer the fucking question. You know what I mean? Shit like that. Yeah. He does it like perfect.
It's because he ended.
Sorry, were you saying something, Liquid?
No.
Oh, okay.
He ended up going off on me on his stream a few times, and the fact that he not only got upset that he knew I existed, but the fact that he ended up not getting any super chats or Venmos or donations while he was talking about me, and then he got angry and upset about that. Like that was, to me, that was like mission accomplished. And then in typical Aaron fashion, what he did was he went ahead and said, oh, it's another win for the toe. Oh, I handed Tom Myers an L. Meanwhile, when he tried to snipe me back after I was sniping him, he turned off my volume and then just immediately cut away. He said, oh, Tom really didn't have anything to say. And I'm like, I listened to the tape back, you fucking idiot. You didn't you didn't let me speak. So
it's another win for the toe. Kind of target practice for
Just pause it real quick. I believe there was I believe I actually watched one of them live when Tom was on live, because I was just like, let's see what this guy's up to. And I believe I actually watched one of them live, and what Aaron did was say, oh, hi Tom, okay, whatever, and then blocked him, and kind of it. And then I didn't ever see Aaron actually stream snipe him. But having watched Tom Myers, as I don't know if I've said this on the show before, but when Tom was going live, basically he was just sitting there reading the chats, just kind of saying that he just needs to get his watch hours up so that he can get monetized, so that he can make a good show. And so, yes, I believe that Aaron may have stream sniped him and said, yeah, there's nothing going on here, because there wasn't.
It's amazing how many. Rob Saul did the same thing. Like when John first started putting them on, he just started going live every night, just trying to get the hours up to get monetized, and it was just all reading the fucking chat and shit. So, I mean, even us, man, we don't plan much for a show, but we talk during the week like, hey, what do you want to talk about? What should we cover this week? It's like these guys that just go live and just like count on the chat. I can't figure that out. You got to at least fucking plan something. It's like, Jesus.
Right. Like, I mean, we maybe don't plan as deeply as, maybe we probably should. But we have
I agree. Yeah. Yeah.
We have a good outline. We have an idea of what we're going to talk about.
Yeah. And we changed, like, even earlier, the whole plan was like, hey, we'll pick one or two topics there, and that's how we started. But then, and it was great during the whole Doge Elon shit. But then when everything was tariffs and big beautiful bills, then it's just not that interesting to talk about. And they're probably even less interesting to listen to two people talk about. So.
Yeah, right. And it's like boring shit that I don't really care about. I mean, Doge was great. I mean, we all agree with that. But
we all agree it's a great topic to fight over.
Yeah, but the tariff thing, what do I mean, I have nothing to say about it. But yeah.
Gotcha.
We pivoted easily.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Are you comfortable letting people just use you as some kind of target to practice bullying on and seeing if they can break you and get you to shut down your stream and stop giving you money and then turn around and go, yeah, I did something today?
Well, I mean, the difference between me and a lot of these other streamers is like I do have like.
I didn't really get what Adam was saying. I think we stopped in the middle of what Adam was saying, so I didn't really rewind it a bit. Just hit the back arrow.
I listened to the tape back. You fucking idiot! You didn't you didn't let me speak. So
another win for the that kind of target practice for other people. Are you comfortable letting people just use you as some kind of target to practice bullying on and seeing if they can break you and get you to shut down your stream and stop giving you money and then turn around and go, yeah, I did something today?
Well, I mean, the difference between me and like a lot of these other streamers is like I do have like other sources of income. It's like I don't necessarily need to stream or something. In fact, I actually came to the conclusion recently. I did some live streaming for a couple months just to see if I enjoyed it, and after a while, I got kind of tired of it. I mean, I liked interacting with some of the chatters.
I actually think you don't like interacting with the chatters, and that's why you don't fucking do the live shit anymore. But
yeah, I think. Or I think that he was not. Excuse me, sorry. I think he just wasn't getting the interaction and the views and the watch hours and everything that he was hoping he would get like a lot quicker. And I think it was just taking longer than he expected. So it was just like, give up on it. If you don't try, you can't fail. Right?
Yeah, that's true. Speaking of real quick, he brought up other sources of income. Did you see that Miss Chad Zumick got demonetized today?
Oh yeah, no, I didn't see that.
And supposedly he doesn't know why. I have no idea, but I don't know. It was interesting.
Yeah, I occasionally tune into Chad, but it's probably because of the Deadpool thing, which I'm sure which is not legal with which is not kosher with YouTube.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think of that. That's good.
Came in like that was pretty much the my favorite part of doing the live stream.
So having some friends to talk to.
I mean, I have friends, but it's just like having people in the chat.
You said that. I guess it's like this. I have a really bad sense of direction. When I get off the freeway and I got to get back on, I have a sense that tells me what direction to go. There's like a feeling, and that feeling is always wrong. I can count on it. That thing. How do you know if your gauge is wrong? Like, how do you know if something's funny or not, or too mean, or how do you know what makes a good joke and a bad joke outside of the audience to you?
Well, the first gauge is, do I think it's funny? And it's like if I don't think something's going to work, like if it doesn't,
and realize that it's not funny.
It's so.
You should take whatever you feel like that, and like as Adam said, do the opposite.
Dude, I even thought of this, and I haven't got around to it, but I was like, not that I could do the delivery, but I'm like, I bet you, like, just if I go a week in the politics, like with the headlines, I bet I could write 5 jokes funnier than anything this guy came up with. I'm not saying I could deliver them. I'm not saying my inflection would be funny, but at least I think the joke itself would be funnier than anything. This fucking guy, he's so bad. He's so bad. He's not a comedian.
Yeah, 100%. I bet I could write way better Trump jokes than him.
Yes, I guarantee. It's so bad.
If it doesn't make me laugh, then I just don't do it. And then the ultimate test is, of course, does it make like an audience, like a room full of strangers, laugh as well? And then if I try something and if it gets an immediate reaction, great. If not, I go ahead and try it again, tweak. And if I just can't tweak it, then I just say, okay, fuck this bit. Like a lot, I'd say like all the stuff I've written, I'd say like 99.9% of it like never makes the final
You
act
should try
that-
for
that I-
100.
Did you hear that? We're getting the best of the best. We're getting the top 0.001%. Like, that's
I'm-
fucking amazing.
Find that difficult to believe.
I do
Or
too.
no, actually, I will say I don't find that difficult to believe. And once again, he should just go for 100%.
I mean, I was willing to bet it was the opposite. He just like, I got to keep all these jokes. I got nothing. I'll cut 0.001%.
Yeah, yeah. He's like, this is what I got. You know, sort of like John.
Yeah.
Like, this is all I got, man.
Yeah, I've decided. I'm reaching out to this guy. I want to get him on. We'll try and talk more politics with him than if he comes on, obviously. But
Oh yeah, absolutely. And once
Well-
again, I think we should like look over his political show.
Right.
Tom Myers versus the rest of the world, which
Yep.
is a retarded name, which Carl has said before. It's like, no, it just should be Tom Myers versus the world. It's like just like his jokes. His title is too wordy.
Oh, yep, that comes up too. God, you're nailing everything, man.
I do
That's a lot.
that I do on stage. I mean, listen, I'm open and honest about it because I write a lot. So like I usually
Well, you
I
should
sit down, and like I just
Yes, Chris, he cuts 99% of it, buddy. It's fantastic.
Well,
You
I'd
think-
say they probably do cut a lot, or at least tweak it. Like,
Oh,
of course,
yeah.
these are professional comedians. It's like they know there's a joke there, so they go to like, you know, they go try to get some time in places in order to work it out, to work out what the joke is. But they know there's a joke there to begin with. They
Yeah.
just need to work
Right, yeah,
work that joke out. Whereas Tom, there's no joke there.
right, yeah. Like I've heard shit like that. Like I've listened to George Carlin, specials, and then I found like old footage of him like working on the joke. When it's not as good, and you can tell. Oh, they're very good at. Well, he's the late George
I
Carlin.
write. I actually
But yeah, very good at. Okay. Oh, this is funny. I'll add this. I'll take this out. But yeah,
Yeah, they got a concept of a joke, and they got like an outline, and they know where they want to go with it. But it's they got to work out how to get there.
yeah.
So I would say like 99% do get cut, but mostly in the working out of the joke itself.
Right. Actually, what I was just thinking of is George Carlin's famous football versus baseball bit. He perfected it like in the 2000s, but he started it a long time ago. But he added so much shit, But yeah, this guy's just fucking word salad, whatever the fuck he's throwing out there.
I do the traditional like pen to paper type deal. So it's easier for me to remember some of the stuff if I go ahead and write them down. And then some of the stuff I won't use for the stage. If it doesn't work for the stage, okay, does it work for the podcast that I do? Does it work
But
for
you don't
Tom
like doing
Myers
the
versus the
podcast.
rest of the
I was
world?
going to ask you about that. You said it, and I have it here. You don't like doing the podcast.
No, I don't
hate
like
it.
doing. I got tired of doing the live stream. The podcast, Tom Myers versus the rest of the world. That's actually what I enjoy doing a lot more.
Hey, Tom, I'm sorry. Can I just ask you a question about you're
Sure,
talking
yeah,
about how you were
absolutely.
writing, your writing style. You said that you scrap about 99.9% of it. And I get that because sometimes you self-edit and you look at your stuff and you go, obviously, I'm not even going to bother with that. But I've watched all of your specials, seen all of them. I've listened to your show. And it seems to me like you write so much that you don't take the time to polish jokes. Do you feel like that's valid?
Like I thought that was a very fair, politely, valid criticism. You know what I mean? And just see what this fucking guy does.
No,
Okay.
because I like every single album that you've listened to, the stuff I've worked on has actually done well and has been polished, has done well in front of audiences. So
I've never heard you receive a criticism of your comedy positively.
well, there's criticism, and then
It has not.
No, right. Yes, Chris, I agree 100%. Yeah. He's very confused. Very confused. He doesn't take any criticism, at all. Like that's what I mean. I said this earlier. I think I'm very self-aware. That's not up to me, but I think so. This guy is the most unself-aware person. He's up there with Stuttering John when it comes to being. I think he's more unself-aware than John. I think John hides, some of the stuff. I think John knows some of the stuff is true about himself, and he pretends it's not. This guy's fucking. He thinks he's a fucking standard comedian.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, I think John just kind of says that. Yeah, I think John kind of is a little more self-aware than he lets on. He just doesn't want to admit it. Whereas I think Tom is just like not self-aware at all. But I agree. Like, I am my own worst critic.
yeah, this guy, you can't say anything to him. And like I said, that was a very that was a very nice way of saying you're too wordy and you're not funny. You know what I mean? You just don't polish your jokes because you write too much, and he can't even take that.
There's just reporting. There's just going back at what's a factual inaccuracy
I'm
or
not trying
misperception.
please don't think I'm trying to insult you. Obviously, I'm trying to just have a conversation with you about stand-up. So I guess I would follow that up by saying, like, I've noticed that you take a bit of time, you use a lot of words. Word economy doesn't seem to be the most important thing in terms of your style of telling jokes. Would you agree with that?
I'll agree. I'm not exactly the most concise person. I'm not exactly the most concise comic. I'll go ahead and I'll go ahead and concede to that.
Okay.
But the jokes that I've done for on the albums, like apparently, like if they didn't do well at all, I would just cut them from the final edit, or like if the room was particularly off with one particular joke, like that's
Sure.
happened a few times. You think like, oh shit, I didn't want that to happen.
Well,
Then
can I just reconcile my first and second thing? I just wanted to explain what I meant by not polished. A word economy sometimes is very burdensome when you're listening to what you're delivering and trying to get to the punchline. So when I say not polished, that's kind of what I mean by that, because I feel like how long you've been doing comedy, a very long time. And I just feel like it's either a style choice or you don't get that it's hard for people to listen to. So I'm just curious what your thoughts are on that.
Yeah, that's
And-
like,
and often-
that's 100% explains his comedy, because he always kind of explains the joke within the joke.
Right,
And
right.
It's like you don't if it's a good joke, you don't need to explain it.
100%. If you need to explain it, it's not. I mean, there were even really good jokes where it takes you a couple seconds to get it, and those are some of the best fucking jokes. You know,
Yeah,
if someone explains it to you, it's not funny. It's like, oh my god, I get it. You know, yeah,
it's like exactly. And that's what Tom always explains his jokes within his jokes, or he always tags it with an explanation. And it's like, no, you just let that sit, dude. You just say the thing and you just keep going.
Yep.
It's actually a lot funnier when somebody thinks back a couple of seconds ago and goes, "Oh shit!"
shit. Right,
You
right,
know?
yeah. Like even if it was a good joke, if you explain it to me before I get it, it's not going to be funny to me. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You got to let me get it on my own.
But then again, on his
Then-
political show, he has to explain a lot of his jokes because I don't know what the fuck he's trying to say.
Oh my god, it's yeah. I can't remember if I'll wait. I don't know if Adam says it. Somebody said at one point, he's like, yeah, you. I think it might have been Adam on a different show, like advertising, having Tom on. He's like, Tom says things that they sound like they're jokes. They sound like they should be jokes or something like that, you know, but they're just not. They're just not. Whatever the fuck they are, you know.
I think I said
with
that.
some
Maybe it was you. Maybe it was you. That's right when I was saying. I'm like, actually, I think Liquid might have told me that. Not Adam.
Yeah,
but yeah.
I think we
yeah.
were talking about that the last time we talked about him. I don't remember if it was on air or not, but yeah, it was like it's structured like a joke. He
Yeah.
thinks it's a joke. He tells it like it is a joke,
Joke.
but it is not a joke.
Yeah, it's whatever.
It's like it has all the structures and features of a joke, but it is not funny. It is not a joke, and there's no joke in there.
I can't imagine anyone bought this guy's if he had albums back in the day. I don't know. I gotta look more into this. I gotta hear some of these specials.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
of the longer bits that I do, like there's often jokes, sort of there's jokes within the bit. There's other little jokes peppered in before I get to like the big final one. So I mean, there's
Yeah, that's stand up.
there's that as well.
Right. But that's how all stand up is. You know, you set it up, punch, set it up, punch, get your jabs in. I guess have people said this to you before?
I mean, yeah, I've definitely taken advice from some more seasoned comedians, especially when I first started. And it's like it's always a work in progress. Like I've never done the exact same set 2 times in a row. Like I've every single
What?
every single.
Do you disagree?
Yeah, well, that's sort of the point of. That's how most comedians do it. Most
Right.
professional comedians that actually make money is they go like a year or so, right, and perfect a bunch of material, and they do this basically the same set, and they refine it over about a year. Then they do the special, and then they make a new set for the next year.
Yeah, I was wondering if he meant like he does. Like I've seen comedians work on their shit and they'll do shit in different orders, you know. So I don't know if
Yeah.
that's what he means. Like he changes things up a little each time to like while he's working on it. I mean, if he's doing entirely different sets, I mean, Well,
It's like no
he's-
wonder he can't get
Yes.
a joke polished.
right. That totally makes it understandable why his shit's so fucking bad and all over the fucking place.
Single joke I've done, like it's been
Yeah, they all
It's been
sound.
pretty
It sounds just like a joke. It's always joke adjacent. It has the feeling of one. If a crowd is drunk enough, it'll land and it'll give us that that satisfying punchline thing.
You
I
do
just
have a
found
rhythm. You definitely have a rhythm to the way you set stuff up. I'll give you that 100%.
That is, even when the joke, written down is clever, is sometimes missed by the movement or the energy or the prowling that sometimes doesn't match the delivery. It gives off the vibe that the person you see in your head is not the person we see. Like, I feel like you see a kind of what's his face, the Lenny Bruce, Bill Hicks kind of prowling the stage, darker character, but it's very much a young Mormon. Have you heard the good word? Look,
Got it. Yeah. I mean,
well, no, I mean, and the quote unquote prowling, I just like walking around on stage because that sort of eases the.
it's absolutely the
eases
letting
any
go of
tension.
tension, right? Which
Yeah.
is
And
Eases
I've
the
done it.
nerve.
I've done
a
it. Where
self-
I wonder if that's true. I wonder if he sees himself as like a fucking Bill Hicks. That'd be fucking hilarious.
Do you know what? I wouldn't doubt it because I saw one of his show. He put one of his shows out from like one of his earlier, 20 years ago, from like
Yeah.
I don't know, public access or something like that. And he was wearing a leather jacket and prowling the stage.
Oh my God. Dennis Leary and Tom Myers both stealing from Bill Hicks. Who the fuck knew?
Yeah, but
self-soothing
only
kind
one
of
of them is known and makes money.
Yeah, only one of them successfully stole from Bill Hicks.
Yeah.
thing.
I've done it where I've stood in front of crowds and I've just been gripping the microphone like this, and
That's also bad.
I've felt kind of very, very, very stiff and not myself. Really, I'm just being myself on stage, and
Sure.
like a lot of people seem to like it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have kept doing it.
Because when I
I was gonna say, try being somebody else. See if
Yeah.
that fucking works.
Have you thought about being somebody else?
This isn't working for you, buddy. I've seen
Yeah,
very
being your-
minimal of your shit. It's not good.
I mean, yeah, his choices are standing stiffly on stage and death gripping the mic, or
Yeah.
wandering around.
It's funny. I sometimes feel like weird doing this shit because I'm like, I feel bad making fun of someone who's better than I can't do stand up. But when I see this guy, I'm like, I don't know. I think I could do it. Like, don't get me wrong. His rhythm, his delivery will be better than mine. But you, me, anyone else here could write better jokes. I've never seen worse jokes somehow get recorded and
Oh,
sold. I don't know.
I'm 100% sure I could do better stand
Yeah,
up than Tom
There you
Myers.
go. Like I said, yeah.
But I'm not an emotionally broken person with a
Right.
history of abuse and damn near suicidal, and I also already have a good job. So I don't need to go be validated by other people on a stage and make no money at it. Although I have been tempted to go do open mics just for fun.
That's good. But yeah, it's funny, man. I like stand up, but that's like never. I don't know. It's never interested me. But I have respect for people that do it. It's got to be scary, but yeah, when you're doing it for that long and this is the end result, you might want to try something else. That's all I'm saying.
I heard
I
that
bet
you
I
were
can do a pretty good tight 3 minutes for open
Yeah, like
mics.
something like very short. So I get what you're saying. Yeah, yeah,
Do like an
raised
open
by
mic,
older
just
parents
go out
or
there to
by-
have fun.
yeah.
I don't have stage fright like at all.
Oh, that's
So-
good.
So I can get up in front of people and talk like all day long without an issue.
I'm weird, dude. I'm mixed. If I get like even like in college when I had to do like reports or work with presentations, if I know what I'm talking about, I'm fucking calm as shit. If it's like something I'm fucking scared. So it's weird. I'm a mixed bag on that.
grandparents. I don't know what you said. Something like your father was raised by your grandfather. I remember thinking, well, that checks out for most people. I don't know how unique that is. What was
He was raised by his grandfather because his mom died when he was very young. So that's how he was raised by his grandfather. And that was the story about the inflection, the Irish accent with my great grandparents. But no, my parents were both. I was the youngest of 3 children, so my parents were kind of older. They're both still around though.
And did they take you to a
also
gravestone
like
and
to
say,
point
someday,
out-
son, this will?
I'd also like to point out his little Irish upwards inflection that he likes to do on the end of his jokes. It is a brand new thing.
Is it?
Yeah. He never. You look at all his older stuff, and he never did it. He just started doing it within the last couple of years.
Oh, so he does try and change. Maybe not for the better, but he tries. You know,
He
changes it.
probably thinks it's funny or something.
Yeah,
like, but it's
somebody.
not. It's just you just listen to this guy talking normally, then all of a sudden he's like, you know,
He probably did it.
I don't do an Irish accent, but you know, all of a sudden he's like, you know, at the end of a joke, he's like turns green and has a shamrock or something.
He's probably got some Opie in him. He probably did it once and got a laugh, so he just kept doing it. You know, like till he fucking killed it, so it's not funny anymore. But, yeah.
That could be true.
Will all be yours.
That is half true. I kind of played it up for the bit. Like there is a family plot where and they did take me to see it because one of my hobbies is I study my family history, so I go ahead and visit a lot of these places. So the bit stemmed from that.
Hey Tom,
I have a couple of questions from the chat that are just real fast. Do you mind if I just
yeah,
throw
sure.
these out
Let's
to
do
you?
some questions.
Can I throw one out there? What's your home club?
Please
Tom?
do the first one.
What's your home club?
It was the Lou Costello room in the upstairs at Zissimo's. They used to do regular comedy shows, but that's since closed.
And that's like a
unfortunately.
restaurant.
It was a comedy club that was right above a place called Zissimo's. Like
Right.
they did regular comedy shows.
Sure.
They held the Charm City Comedy Festival there when they held it, but it was closed down, which is a shame. The other clubs in the Baltimore area are Magooby's Joke House, that's in Timonium. Sully's Comedy Cellar used to be Tracy's years ago.
That's
Okay.
great.
That
Do you
was
know
in-
what
that was in
Vinny
Parkville.
does for a living? Do you know what his job is outside of podcasting?
I imagine you're going to tell me.
Sure. He books a comedy club in New York,
Hi Tom.
so he might know a thing or
Nice.
two about it. And I thought it was funny that he was the one guy you were like, we can't have him on. I mean, there's a legion of people that would agree to go on if Carl's not there, but you were the one to say, Vinny, that's too much for me too. So I thought that was interesting because I would say it would be a wrong instinct. But they're asking in the chat, how often do you go to watch a show that you're not on? Like how often do you turn on the YouTube and watch other people's shows?
Oh, a lot. Like especially if like some friends of mine
Especially
post stuff as well. Like some other comics,
Such
other
as?
comics that I do. My friend
Yeah, this
Very
is a
good
legit
friend,
story.
apparently.
Yeah.
good buddy.
Oh.
Known him for years. What was his name? I don't know.
This is how you know it's bullshit.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. And I love
see-
Vinny's. I love Vinny's little question there. What is your home?
Yeah.
Where's your home club? And he said, well, above this barbecue restaurant.
It
Probably a
was.
potato bar.
Yeah, he doesn't even have one anymore, apparently. But yeah.
But I guess he doesn't have a home club anymore. You know, which honestly is exactly what, as Adam Bush said, is the exact kind of question I'd expect Vinny to ask. I guess Tom doesn't know Vinny is literally like works for a comedy club.
Right. Like that's like the one thing I know about Vinny is that he works at comedy at the Carlson. You know what I mean? And this fucking guy doesn't even know.
And
It's
he
like
likes pizza.
Vinny. Like I
Maybe
imagine.
less these days. He's the skinny Vinny these days. Isn't
Yeah,
he?
he's losing a little. Yeah.
whenever Chad Zumach, he'll go ahead and post stuff on his Instagram. I know that's a thing, but it's like I love.
No, it's not a thing.
I'll
It's that you
go ahead
couldn't
and
think of
watch
it. That's so
that
funny.
Do you ever
I mean,
just like go to is there other club in town you could go to and just go watch a show that somebody like? Do you go do that often?
Yeah, how often do you do that?
I don't really do that as often as I used to, just because like the podcast
Never.
keeps me busy, and
The answer is
like
he
I have
doesn't.
my
Right. Just be honest, dude. Like I think you would get more respect if you were just honest and be like, nah, I don't watch other people. Nah, yeah, I just don't go. I do my own shit. You know, just be honest. This is
Well, if he was like that, we would be
right. He
here
wouldn't be
talking.
Tom Myers. Yeah.
Yeah, we wouldn't be right here where we are if Tom was like that.
Fair enough.
my gig. I do public address announcing for youth baseball tournaments. So like that, I don't really do like the stand up.
I'm sorry. When I
You know
was
that once a weekend on a Saturday afternoon really chews into his whole week right there.
yeah, I was just gonna say I one of the schools I graduated was Connecticut School of Broadcasting when I was 19, and I used to do production and shit like that on the engineer and produce the local sporting events. It didn't take up much of my time. I had another full-time job. I had, those things don't happen that often.
Yeah, it's like what, a couple of hours on a Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so you can find the time, Tom. And it's certainly not at night when you could be at a comedy club,
Exactly. Yeah,
As much
that's what I was kind of was pointing out. Is like, and don't most comedians start around 7?
Yeah, at minimum. Right. Yeah.
Anymore. So
Do you miss it?
I mean, I'd like to get back into it again.
Are you back in
like
a
I said,
little
I'm
bit?
I'm still writing
Yep, sure.
I don't know what.
like the stand up as much anymore. So
Do you miss it?
Sorry.
my gig, I do public address announcing for youth baseball tournaments. So like that, I don't really do like the stand up as much anymore. So
Do you miss it?
I mean, I like to get back into it again. Like I said, I'm still writing. I still like go out every now and then. I hit local workout rooms, and yeah, I'm definitely looking to try and get back into it.
Cool. Here's one from, I hope I get this name right, Arkansotopes Theorem, $4.99. Thank you, sir. Tom, do you think teaming with WATP early would have been smarter than lashing out, or was distancing yourself first and joining later the better move?
We are going to find out, Mr. Theorem. We're going to find out the answer to that question.
Well, no,
I think it's like it's one of those things also where it's like they say the anticipation of something is better than the thing itself. Like once it happens, like what is it that Chinese proverb? The point of the journey is never to arrive, or something like that.
I don't know what that means, but I know there's a sense that you want your fans to be one way. You want them to. You
Let
want
me
to
explain
dictate
something
how
about the point of a journey. It's that because I'm on one.
Right.
The point is to arrive.
Yeah. This is one of the moments I was thinking when Adam's like, I'm not letting you get away with this bullshit. You didn't answer the question, and now you're gonna do some Chinese fucking proverb. No. Yeah. Get to answer the fucking question, dude.
they enjoy you. And I feel like there are good comics, there are great comics, there's a lot in the middle, but you seem to offer something that's undefinable that people can't find anywhere else. And you deny that part of yourself, you deny the people that enjoy it, and you pretend it doesn't even exist. And it's kind of a game we all have to play. That's riding that line of, are we allowed to enjoy you for what we enjoy you for? Like for me, it's everything you said. You're like, yes, I'm either pacing manically or I'm standing still. It's all just tension to me. And I love that because that's really hard to find. Even now, the fact that like I've pointed out multiple times, there's that green hue around your head. And you're like, no, that's how we do this. That's how I work a green screen.
Well, that's it's something I didn't quite say that. I said I've been working on it. Like I've been trying to.
It's literally a check mark in the settings.
Yeah, obviously I'm not the guy, but yeah, I can't imagine it's that fucking hard.
Yeah, you can go to the settings right now and go to video or go to virtual background. You could do this right now. You go to settings, go to virtual background, and right there you can see a big check mark that says I have a green screen.
That's you can't, and I can't imagine. Like this must have been said to him so many fucking times, and like I don't know if he's just stubborn or fucking. Part of my language, fucking retarded. I don't know what the fuck he's doing.
As well,
That's
not
yeah, it's
very well, admittedly, but
no.
I do have I have a life outside of podcasting, which
Nobody said you didn't. Nobody said you didn't. I mean,
Are you dating anybody? Are you dating anyone?
Today, no.
Do you see that, Rob Saul? That's all you got to do. It's really easy. It doesn't take much. You just answer the question. Jeez.
Did you ever see that? Yeah, I was actually in the chat, fucking Rob's chat when Adam came in, and Adam said he had heard that Rob was dating somebody, and all he did was ask Rob, and Rob, it turned into a whole thing. It's like yes, no, whatever. It's like,
yeah, I think I saw a clip on that.
Yeah, it was fucking.
I think you got Doom or Stalin or something.
I'm sure
a clip that where he's like, it was like this whole roundabout thing.
And I guess I get it. Like if all of a sudden like something personal of mine somehow found its way to Adam Bush, but whether you're dating someone's not like a big. If you're single, yeah, I mean I'm married. If I'm dating somebody, yeah, that's a scandal, I guess. But it's like if Rob's dating someone,
yeah, you probably shouldn't be dating anybody,
right? Exactly. Rob should be dating people if he wants, So
or not,
right? Absolutely. If he wants to be celibate, that's fine too.
Yeah, you can just be like, no, not right now.
Yeah, I mean, we've all felt that. I think we've all had those moments where, like, yeah, I think I'll be single for a little while.
Oh yeah, I've gone through that, and we all have. Where it's just like, dude,
yeah,
that last chick just was just like, I think I just need to take a break from women for a little while.
Well, thank you for telling me I'm more concise than Rob Saul. I'll go ahead and I'll include that on the.
We take our victories where we can find them. Have you ever had your heart broken, like real bad? Because I know I have.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, what was that like? Can you tell us about it?
Oh,
Do I have to
it
go back
was,
to asking about your parents' grave?
it was well, I'm having my heart broken right now because my Baltimore Orioles just suck so bad, and then the Ravens got knocked out of the playoffs
Carl's
to
not
the
here. We don't
Buffalo
wanna do-
Bills, and damn it, I know a lot of Bills fans, they take a little victory lap on that one.
I mean, that's another one. Who hasn't had their heart broken? You know what I mean? Yeah, I've had my heart broken. You know, not this
Yeah.
fucking sports bullshit. It's like he's so disingenuous. It's like even this easy shit. This is the easy shit that Adam's asking you, not the fucking hard shit about, you know, why your jokes suck or are you anti, you know, comedy or whatever. I mean,
Well, Carl is of the opinion that Tom possibly has never actually had
oh,
a
okay.
significant other.
Just do it. I'll get you. Oh, never. Okay, either. Okay, interesting.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
Carl
you
said,
never know.
because he doesn't, because Tom does seem to talk like you've seen the movie The 40-Year-Old Virgin, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That's how Tom seems to talk about sex. You know,
It
how
feels
do you
like
describe,
sand.
you know, tits? You know, it's like,
Yeah.
you know, like nice bags of sand.
God.
But
Fuck
yeah,
the
no,
Bills,
I mean,
Tom. Fuck the Bills. Sorry.
No, I was just saying,
thank you, Vinny.
instead of Sam.
Oh, fuck the Ravens
when
too,
someone-
I
Tom.
was saying Sam Bibley. Carl is of the impression that Tom has never actually had a significant other. I don't want to say girlfriend or whatever, because who knows, he might be gay.
Yeah. And Sam, it is you're right. But I think this is just my opinion. I think Adam tries to pepper in these easy I'm your buddy type questions that try and lull people like this into a false sense of security before he, you know, pummels you with the hard shit. So to me, Tom's not even answering the canned questions, you know.
I think Adam is like, I think the question isn't have you ever had your heart broken? That Adam is really saying Adam's real question is, have you ever been in love?
Yeah, true. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was. I mean, you're entitled to your opinion, Mr. Bibley. I agree. I disagree. I think Adam did pretty good on this one. And I actually think Vinny did pretty good too. I love producer Chris, but he was just letting these two just take the reins this whole fucking thing. I don't think he's.
Chris has just been sitting there.
Yeah, and I think he does pretty much the whole show.
When someone's like Tim Dillon says that you have either no self-awareness or too much self-awareness, what does that mean to you?
I mean, to me, I think it means that like I don't know what like I don't know people's perceptions of me, or I'm sort of aware too much that I care too much. Maybe I do care too much, but
I think
you know.
so. Because that put, you know, when you have that going on inside, but you want to project, I don't care, it's not a winning combination. And we all see through that. And some people actually enjoy that. But it's interesting to see, you know, the suppression of it, because it's very hard to act like we don't care when we really do. It's almost impossible. Humans can tell.
You know, it's a weird thing to me, Tom, and I guess I don't understand it because I'm listening to you explain, you know, how you don't care. But then when people say these things, you know, and then you respond immediately with, you know, some of them, you know, I do respond to, and you seem to take an enjoyment in that, you claim. I have to wonder, like, when you hear a criticism about your act and stuff like that, you kind of say you wear those things as a badge of honor. And I'm sorry, I feel like I'm rambling. I'm just trying to get this out the right way. You're like kind of proud of the way people come at you. To me, I would be like, I got to get better. I just don't understand that mentality. Can you explain it to me?
I mean, I think it was just the idea of like growing up in the Maryland public school system and just
Dude, this is where he does the whole, you know what's coming, right? The whole fucking school bit.
Yeah, of course. That's all he does is talk about, you know, high school and his Maryland public school thing. And
Yeah.
I just don't I
Gonna
don't understand why all these 40-year-old guys are always talking about what happened to them in high school. You know, it's like, you know what? Can I tell you how?
Uh-oh.
Sorry, I had to cough.
Okay. I thought we lost you again.
No, I was right in the middle of a sentence. I was like, oh shit, I got to cough. Anyway, what can I tell you about what my high school experience was like? It was all right. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, I mean, I got high school stories, but who the fuck doesn't? Like, who cares? All right.
Right. It's basically who cares. It's like I can tell you my high school stories, and you know who's going to care? Nobody.
Nobody.
Unless you actually went to high school with me.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. Gonna bring on. We'll have a woman's point of view. How we doing, Ava?
Good.
Yeah,
How are y'all
but-
doing?
Good.
I'm glad you're
Fantastic.
covering this.
Are you enjoying Tom?
Oh, this is such a great interview.
Yeah, I thought he did great.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet. That's why we're watching it.
Yeah, I was telling him we were going to watch something else with Tom Myers, but when I found out Liquid hadn't seen this, and he was down, so it's fucking.
I haven't seen it, but I had it on when I was like working.
Yeah,
and I was getting angry, so I'm excited to see the face.
There we go.
The idea of using jokes to go ahead and just deflecting bullies and upperclassmen and just not really giving a shit about the consequences.
Right.
Like if
I just
things went
can't see
horribly
that kind
awry.
of clever wordplay disarming a bully in the bathroom in Baltimore in high school. I just can't see that.
Yeah, Tom would be giving a quip, and the bullies like, "We got to get back to class, Tom."
Well, they get back to class, and therefore they leave me alone and don't beat the shit out of me. Don't you see how this works? Then
Well,
I have a plan. I think these things out.
So, do you guys think this is bullshit? Because I've heard so many comedians say they were bullied and blah 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 blah. I don't know if he's just fucking saying that because that's like the canned fucking comic thing, or
I think. Well, you want to go first?
Oh no, I was just saying, most comics do have sort of a
something
terrible
broken.
past.
Yeah, but he's not a comic. That's what I'm getting. I think he's making this up.
So maybe he's making it up because most comics have a terrible past, and he's trying to be one of those.
Yeah, I think that he isn't lying about being a nerd in high school. I think that he's repressing a trauma, and I think that, but he's one of these like nerds, like like Scott Adams, that have this like just entitlement and confidence that is completely unfounded. And I don't know how he ended up doing comedy, but I do think he probably didn't have that many friends, and he might have been like the briefcase kid. That's kind of my.
Yeah, I agree with the friends thing 100%.
That could be true. Yeah, maybe he didn't have a lot of friends. Maybe he was like a nerd with a lot. I mean, I was a nerd in high school too, but I had a number of friends.
Yeah, a lot of nerds have a bunch of friends. They just hang out with the other nerdy kids or whatever. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
Whatever you have in common. So
Yeah, he probably had nerdy friends. Yeah.
Or none.
But maybe he was an asshole and they didn't like him.
Right. Yeah. Could be.
Actually, I think you just cracked it right there. Yeah, like he is that nerd that like the nerd. He's just too much of a dick that the nerds don't even like him, and that's how he.
He was one of those know-it-alls that always knew everything about everything, and he'd make it up even if he didn't. And if you said he was wrong, then no, you were wrong. You don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. I have so much to say about him, but
so he's probably one of those assholes.
Yeah, I agree.
You though, I'm not asking you like why you got into comedy. I'm asking you like why that criticism doesn't inspire you to get up and be the best comic that you could possibly be. Because like, listen, man, I listen to those albums and I know that you're proud of them, but I listen to albums all day long. People send me stuff. I listen to this all day long, and it was very unremarkable. And like you're sitting here telling me that it was great, and I respect that because you're proud of it.
Unremarkable is very, very, very kind.
Yeah, like I said, Vinny tried to be nice to him at first and everything with the questions, and eventually you just got to get to this fucking guy.
They wear thin though, yeah.
Yeah,
I was gonna say I love Zen, and as you were talking about before, his special was also I think was pretty mid and unremarkable.
I do too.
It was good. I had a couple of good laughs in it, but saying Tom Myers' comedy is unremarkable is being very generous.
Yeah, Zen blows this guy's fucking shit away.
Absolutely.
Anybody, if they put something out there, they should stand behind it. But the response to the criticism is it's everybody else's fault for not getting it. And I'm saying, what in you stops you from processing that and saying, hey, I got to change this up. I got to start cutting words. I got to start hitting my punchlines harder and faster. What's stopping you from that?
There's nothing stopping me from doing that because I actually do that, contrary to what you read on Reddit.
So that's what's stopping him from doing that. He thinks he's doing it.
Right. Vinny's almost like, I think like, because Vinny's like a comic and he books other comics. It's like he's frustrated. Like, dude, why the fuck are you trying to get better? Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like all these years,
Did I miss
because he thinks he's already doing good. Sorry.
That exactly.
Yeah.
Did I miss the Vinny asking about like was it not charity awards, but he asked him some question about using less words.
I think it comes up again, but it's already come up.
Okay.
Like Vinny asked him like why he doesn't polish his, like you write so many words instead of doing that, like polish.
That was so funny. He was just like,
yeah. And like how it takes way too long to get to the fucking quote unquote punchline. Yeah.
They just keep asking.
The name. Yeah, the name of his show is just a microcosm of his comedy. Tom Myers versus the rest of the world.
Yeah.
There's, it's word economy, dude. It's Tom Myers versus the world.
Yeah.
but he's got to get the rest of it in there because he doesn't understand word economy.
It's like what Howard said about Scott the engineer. It was like he would be dangerous if he had just a little bit power. Like this guy.
I agree. He's fucking. Yeah.
You read in the comment section, because I always do strive to be better. Am I the greatest comedian in the world?
No.
Am I ever going to be that? Am I ever going to be that? No. I've come to accept that. But I've always, like I said, I always strive. I always work on the bits. I always work on the jokes. I always polish them, and I try and go out and work on them frequently whenever I can.
I guess
So
it's
Literally
it's
says he
the
throws
pro-
most of his jokes away.
Yeah. Like I said, he contradicts himself so much in this fucking thing.
Yeah, he
Yes.
just a minute ago said, yeah, he throws away most of his jokes.
Well, it's like an awkward dynamic because they're directly like implying that he is not funny and that they don't understand why he doesn't want to work on being funnier because no one thinks he's funny in like 20 different ways.
This just shows how nice producer Chris is. It's like, I think he's like, yeah, 3-on-1 might have been a little too much. I'll just fucking sit back and watch these two fucking smack him around.
Well, he's fascinating to me. I don't know much about him. But I mean, he kind of usually normally does that. But I do feel like of the four, this is his best performance, producer Chris. Like he is like a visual barometer of just someone watching. Like,
You know what? I haven't even been watching Chris. I should probably start watching Chris.
yeah. He's good at this.
I like doing that with certain shows. Just watching like the way people fucking react. Like I'm such a loser. Like if I send in like a super chat and like one of the guys laughs, I'll rewind it and see like what the other three guys were doing. Like, oh, did he make a face? Did he fucking do that?
Oh
So,
no, I would never do that.
so I like just watching.
I
what
would
people
cry.
do.
process I have might be like very different from everyone else, but on the base level, it's the same.
What I'm saying is you seem to like revel in the bad reviews and stuff like that, and you're very proud of it. And I'm just saying, how do you not take that as motivation instead of just standing there going, ha ha ha?
I literally just answered that question by saying yes. I do strive to be better.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Fair enough.
I'll take issue with one of Vinny's points is that in terms of the comedy, it can be enjoyed on a lot of different levels. You know, people go see this Tim Heidecker character.
Mhm.
He's a stand-up comic, right?
Yep.
It's genius. It's because it's very hard to pull off intentionally. And it can fill rooms, and they don't have to explain it to anyone. And they know a lot of people looking at it might not guess what Tim Heidecker is doing, and that it is a kind of anti-comedy thing, and it's funny in that way. And I feel like it's a more punk, modern, younger aesthetic that the second anyone tries to even mention it.
Sorry. Do you? Shit. What the fuck was I gonna say? Never mind me.
What was it about Heidecker?
No, it was. Oh fuck. If I remember, I'll unpause. It was something
love
about
this-
the anti-comedy, but I forget what it was. Shit.
I love this question because he's just like, Tim Heidecker has a character where he's parodying shitty comedians like you, and that has to be hard. Is this hard for
I was
you?
also
How
thinking
was
Chip
it? Was it
Chipperson.
like Heidecker?
Oh yeah, Chip's great. Like, and also, I always think of like Norm Macdonald.
Around you.
Sorry, Norm Macdonald at Bob Saget's roast. I don't know if you guys ever saw that.
It's one of
But-
the greatest things ever.
Yeah, it's like he mocked the whole roast itself, and he did old timey roast jokes that just weren't like intentionally, that just weren't fucking funny. And it's like people are like, what the fuck? And then once you realize what Norm's doing, it's fucking hilarious because he's just intentionally being corny and unfunny. You know. And,
I stole like an insult from him on it from that where he calls the punchline of it is calling someone a cauliflower head.
It gets a very, very negative reaction. And I'm always of the like that. If somebody wants to hear me sing, I really don't care what they enjoy about it. Who the fuck am I to dictate how they enjoy it? So I've always found that process really interesting. Can you tell us about that?
I mean, listen, if anybody wants to, enjoy me, if anybody wants to go ahead and give me the clicks or the listens or anything like that, I'll go ahead and do it. I'll go ahead and take it. I mean,
So then why don't you embrace
He
this
does
stuff?
need the watch hours.
click.
I actually just remember what I was going to ask. Do you guys think that Tom thinks he's like he's almost too smart, and that's why some people just don't get his jokes? Or
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't think-
absolutely. He does that. I think that's exactly it. He does seem like that kind of guy where he thinks he's just going over everybody's head.
And I
Yeah.
think he's lying when he talks about, I work on things for him. Like I don't think he does that because he thinks he needs to make something better. I think he's lying, and in his head, he's just talking about coming up with new material. I don't think that he thinks his material is bad or needs
No,
work.
he doesn't think his materials, but he has
Yeah.
to come up. Well, when he does his show, he comes up with a bunch of jokes for the monologue. I'm just going to say, air quotes jokes for his monologue. And I think he considers that to be writing as well.
Exactly, because he's like, oh, well, I'm improvising, so I'm trying it in a different way. But that's actually reflective of how he's a shitty comedian because he wouldn't put any care into what he says.
Yeah. No, I don't even think he's improvising. I think he just writes them down. He thinks they're funny and he says them, and they're not.
I need to watch more of his. I've only seen a few of them. We should do that sometime.
Yeah, well, that's what we were going to do a few weeks ago, but we ended up doing other stuff and getting sick and going across the country and all that sort of stuff.
For sure.
Is a click is a click is a click, a listen is a listen.
But
and
that's
if
what they were
someone
saying a
streams my
decade
albums,
ago with Cumtown and all these places. That's what they were saying.
$1 is a dollar.
Right.
But
That's what they were saying. It's been this long 10-year kind of.
But with
dipping your toe in
Cumtown,
with any of them.
I've known two of the hosts for a very long time, and they just don't seem. And having met them in person a long time ago, and listening to them as of late, it doesn't seem to be coming from a very genuine place. If that makes any sense.
No,
it doesn't seem to be.
Like you don't get to decide what's genuine and what's not. It just kind of comes from.
Well, I mean, but you're saying like I shouldn't criticize how some people perceive me. And so okay,
how they enjoy
I should be able how they enjoy it. Then I should be able to go ahead. I should be able to go ahead and process how I should be able to go ahead and process that myself. I should be able to go ahead and perceive people's criticisms. I should also consider the source and
that's
process that.
Nope.
That's a slippery slope right there.
Yeah.
He's just not picking up what they're putting down, is he?
No.
Do you think he doesn't comprehend, or do you think he's just rejecting it?
I think he's just rejecting it because I mean, what they're trying to say is, "Hey,
You suck."
yeah, you suck," but also, how do you not take this criticism?
Why do you keep sucking?
Yeah, and do better. Like I mean, Vinny just straight up said it, and I think Adam is trying to say the same thing from a different angle.
Yeah, like what? Yeah,
And I think Tom just thinks that he's doing fine.
well, he gave it away with the considering the source. As soon as somebody has that headspace, then they never internalize any criticism.
Yeah. Ava, I just want to ask you real quick, as Adam, obviously a lot better than we do. When he asks like simple questions like, have you ever had your heart broken? Have you dating anyone? Do you think like he's got like information, so he's trying to get it out of them, or do you think he's just trying to lull them into a false sense of this guy's on my side, he's asking these easy questions? I try to figure out if he's asking just to like lull them in, to be calm, and then he strikes, or if he's got information that he wants to try and get out of them.
I've seen those theories. I'm such a fan of him, and like it's also like it's very similar to what like psychiatrists do. I don't think he's doing any of those with any intention. He's asking them these particular open-ended questions to kind of see, like, this is my view of it, to get a temperature check of like, those are two questions that like the way someone answers it can like give you guidance on what directions to go. But I don't think it's like deviant or strategy. It's just like, all right, let's see how you answer this question.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That makes sense. Yeah.
My way as well. Let them enjoy me the way they want to enjoy me, and I'll go ahead and take the commentary as they want to take it.
Sure. It's just when we talk about the sometimes things are too wordy, or sometimes there's a different energy on stage. When we say, I say, that's actually the things I enjoy about you. Those are the things as an actor I see, and I'm like, fuck, that's really hard to reproduce. I like when two things are going on at once. And with you, I always see the comedian telling the jokes, and then this other thing. And I don't quite know what it is, but I'm fascinated by it. And I feel like in all the studying I've done on you, it's been like a war to prove that other side doesn't exist. And it's just this kind of Todd Barry comedian. When the other thing is what I love. It's what other people love. It's why Shane wanted to introduce you to his wife. It's why he listens to your album. It comes down to that thing. What does innate mean? Like, it doesn't make sense, literally. It's maybe a political statement. It's maybe a joke on the fact that it isn't the thing, but that would put you in that anti-comedy category, as opposed to, no, that's a very funny joke that makes sense to everyone.
Is that what you're doing? Is it anti-comedy, or is this what you legitimately think is?
I think what it is like, this guy is absolutely, it's so terrible he's good. It's so bad he's good. He's so bad that it's fun to watch and see how bad he is. I mean, remember the number of times when Pat Oates has been on WATP and Carl would play Tom Meyer's opening monologue, and Pat kept keep stopping himself from polishing Tom's jokes for him. And I think that's more along the lines of what it is that you see this guy. Okay, he's been doing it for 20 years, but he's still making jokes like he had just started last year.
Yeah.
And I think it's just, I think the comics they just, it's like any artist or whatever. Ava, you play guitar, so I'm sure you've heard people play something, and you go like, you probably goes through your head about, I can make that way better. Then this is what I would do, and this is how I would do it. And I think that's like a lot of what Tom Myers is with other comics, where they're just they see it and they listen to him and they go, "Oh, this is terrible."
Is a funny joke that someone should see.
This is how I can make it better.
And another way says that your brain just needs it to not be what it is, so it just tries to fix, because your brain tries to fix everything.
Exactly.
Yep.
It's like the entertainment is, this is so bad. I can't get it out of my head how bad this is, and I need to fix it.
I will have a slight disagreement with you about him. I think that Tom is unique in that he isn't so bad that it's funny. He's one of the few people that's actually the next dimension over where it's just not funny again. He's like the third tier. Because I think
I actually,
comedians that don't realize, like, if you go to an open mic or something, people are just bad, and it's like, to me, those are my favorite. Just watching like people like that. He, I think, has this superpower of just the third rail that I don't know.
Yeah, he's been an open micer for 30 or 20 years.
yeah, I actually agree. Like I think Stuttering John is one of those. It's so bad, it's funny shit. And this guy he doesn't do it. It's just so bad, it's fucking bad. Like he's not even good at the anti-comedy. Like
because even those open micers are in touch with themselves. A lot of them, they are speaking like through their lens. He is not in touch with himself, and therefore it kind of. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'll develop this thought better.
I think it even comes up that like he should talk more about things he knows about. Like it's clear by some of the jokes he tells that he doesn't know about the subjects he's talking. Like I guess he does some drug jokes that make no fucking sense. Obviously, it's a guy that's never done drugs, so it's like
I'm gonna say sex and drugs. Yeah, things he does not know anything about.
And laugh out loud at.
I mean, well, how would you define anti-comedy? Though, because a lot of those terms just get bandied about and they're thrown around on the internet, and people really don't know. People really don't know what words mean.
Yeah, people know what anti-comedy is.
Everyone knows what it means. You just don't like that they call you. You don't like that they describe you as that.
Except Tom. Tom thinks he's an actual comedy. He doesn't like if you just lean into it. He'd probably. Well, no, actually, if he just leaned into it, then he'd be trying too hard, and then it'd probably be actual comedy.
He should pick up some of that 99% of the shit he fucking throws away, see if there's anything fucking good in there, because the shit he's fucking putting out it's so fucking. I'm still blown away. Like I never really listened to this guy, and then when Liquid sent me the clips, I was like, somebody signed this guy? This guy put out material? Like I can't even fucking believe it. Like. I did a show with Eckel once where we went over all the stand-ups of like Shuley and fucking Ray and Chad, and they were bad, but they weren't nearly as fucking. They were not even close, not even the same ballpark as this guy.
Most of them are just kind of like, that's there.
Yeah, it's like a couple chuckles.
I chuckled a few times, but whatever. But yeah, his stuff is just like, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
When you're listening to Tom, you listen to Tom's comment, I'm like, what? Like, huh?
You could tell I remember there was one he was talking about the Ravens kicker getting cut, and somehow he turned it into having an orgasm because he had massages. It's like, I don't think you know how orgasms or massages. I don't know, dude. Or football, none of this works because it made no.
I didn't understand any of that. Like this whole back half of his monologue on that when he was talking about all the sports references. I'm like, I don't get any of this.
They get thrown around. So
no, I think everybody really has a clear understanding of the English language, especially writers and comics that put themselves out. Like a lot of these people consider themselves writers first and then comics. I mean, some poets, Bob, every syllable, it has a meaning, and it would ruin it to add or remove another syllable. So when you say "make America innate again," and people are like, "I don't know what that means," and your response is, "Well, fuck off." It feels like a dead end.
I've never
I'm
said
paraphrasing.
that. I've answered that question on podcasts numerous times.
And the answer is.
So the answer was, it was like looking within oneself to find out how to make America great instead of just looking for external stimuli.
And that's a joke.
And it was also just something that rhymed with great.
Right.
And I knew there was
There
something
it
that
is.
would, it was,
Well,
and
yeah, there it is.
something that, and it was something,
Jesus Christ,
and it was something that would never ever be copied.
There goes
or
Rhyme and
repeated.
Tom.
So
That's what we all knew that what he's just trying to make something that rhymes with
Yep, great.
great. And I don't think he knows what innate means.
It's a great question from the chat. Do you know what anti-comedy is, Tom? Do you know what they mean by that? Like, I know folk music and anti-folk music. Folk music is like what you think of when you think of Bob Dylan, Mumford and Sons. Anti-folk would be a much less melodic, a more punk, but with kind of lo-fi sound instruments. It's a different thing. They're both well-respected art forms. Do you know what anti-comedy is? Do you know what examples of that are?
I would love to hear you explain it.
It's when something is intentionally unfunny.
Right. They take
And
out the
that's the
funny
joke.
parts to make you.
And often,
yeah,
that's the writing aspect of it. And often you're left with an eager comedian,
Well,
a
in
very
that
eager to
case-
please comedian.
In that case, if we're going by that strict definition, I would say that label is absolute bullshit. Because, like I said, believe it or not, if you go outside this Dabbleverse or Hackverse or whatever the fuck we're calling it,
Mhm.
then there's people out there who actually enjoy me. And if they
But
if they-
anti-comedy is not enjoying someone. That's what I'm saying.
Listen, I really want to talk. Hey, anybody out there who watches this any time in the future, if you are a huge unironic fan of Tom Myers who listens to him because you like him and what he says, do you think he's funny? Contact any of us, please. We want you on this show.
What's funny is Shuley, Adam was on with I don't remember if he was on TSN or if it was a Dabble Point or whatever, but he was on with Shuley talking about it was Point Dabble Point. You might have been on Ava. He was talking about how he was going to interview Tom Myers right before it happened, and Shuley, I guess, personally likes Tom. He's like, oh, I like to, and Adam was like kind of ribbing him, and Shuley's like, yeah, just because you haven't got a base hit yet, just because you strike out every time doesn't mean you're always going to strike out or something like that. Like he's going to get a hit
20
one of these days.
years.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a pattern here.
So yeah, I got the vibe that Shuley gets it, that he's not funny, but the guy's nice or whatever to him or something. But yeah, he was
I
trying
mean,
to,
that's fine. I mean, Tom might be just a nice guy.
yeah.
He
I'd
might be
surprise
an
enjoy-
alright guy. I'm never going to say he's
Doing
a
it
good
on
comedian.
their level. It's
Fuck, sorry, kept bumping.
enjoying it the way they want to because they see something unique. They can find a good or great comic, in LA and New York very easily, but someone who does what I consider what you do and people like that when it's leaned into can fill ballrooms.
I mean,
can fill theaters.
You could look back to guys like, for example, just like Andy Kaufman reading The Great
Thank
Gatsby on stage.
Thank you.
Is anti-comedy, Tom. It's really funny, kind of like when you look at it on the surface level of what it is, but when you're in the room, you're like, what the fuck is this? Until you realize what's happening and you can lean into the joke and laugh at the inflection of him reading the words, which is, the mastery of it. You know what I mean? There's a way to suck people into stuff like that. Is that what you're going for? Or are you just going for hard punchline jokes?
I mean, I'm just doing the standard set up punchlines, and when I go out and
Yes,
do
we
them,
know.
there's people who enjoy them. Do they always enjoy them? Do some of them flop? Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So
they do.
the answer is
Absolutely.
no, it is not intentional.
Right. Like I think of the movie The Room, that was
I
like
was
so
about to say
bad.
the same
Yeah.
thing.
And it's like, obviously, or from what we know about it, I don't think it was intentionally bad, but at least the guy fucking Tommy Wiseau leaned into it and made some good money off the fucking thing.
Yeah, the
you
book,
know?
The Disaster Artist, is
Yeah.
great.
I haven't I've seen The Room and I've seen the movie The Disaster Artist, but I haven't read the book yet. So
The book is really good. The audio book is also really good. It's actually read by the guy who plays Mark.
good old Mark.
Absolutely, they do. And when the ones that do, like I said earlier, I either tweak them, and if I can't get to the point where people like them, I let them go.
How about he
Because
throws
what's so
them out?
unique is
Yeah, this is what I mean. He does he
His,
he just contradicts himself. Yeah.
his defense, like that big theme he just said about, some people like it, some people don't like it, is very similar
Yeah,
to.
He's
Go ahead.
very defensive about being called anti-comedy. Isn't
Yes. Yep.
he very much believes he's a comedian.
But he leans hard on that general defense.
Yeah, I mean that's like every comedian, but it's I don't know how to say it. Like people
It's
have
like-
certain styles of comedy they like, But usually, you know, if you like a certain style, if the guy's good, he's good. If he's bad, he's bad. You know.
It's like when like Jake Tapper on his like book tour right now. Whenever somebody's like,
Oh,
"Are
God.
you serious? Like you really didn't know it?" And he's like, "Well, you know, some people will say that, and that's fine. I look in my past with humility." And you know, like it's like, no, come on, like.
Yeah, he's awful. Like, what's his face got him? Jon Stewart was like, yeah, if you know the president is incoherent, that's kind of like something you're supposed to report on right away, like the fucking news, not like write a book about and fucking release it like later. But I mean, we all knew, but they know and with the evidence and say shit so they can make money off it later.
Is finding that person where they think it's funny. That's the beautiful thing to see, where the room feels one way, but they feel another way. And then we can laugh at that. That to me is sometimes more engaging than just regular comedy. And sometimes I see that in spades with you, and I wouldn't want to run from it, and I wouldn't want to not embrace it. And I wouldn't want to say, you can only laugh at this part of the joke. You can't laugh at this part of the joke.
Well, I mean, I would
be respected only.
First off, thank you so much, JC, for the super chat. Who me? I can't give $1,000. I'm mad. Well, you can do that 9 more times. Come on, man. Show some love for the show. Show some love for the channel. But I mean, I can disagree with your assessment about my stand up. But like I said, if they want to enjoy it, if they want to stream the albums, if they want
to enjoy it. I want to enjoy your comedy, Tom, but I don't.
Make me enjoy
it.
I can't.
Yeah. You can't. Someone can't want. Yeah, it has to be It's either enjoyable or it's not.
But as I said, if Tom Myers wasn't Tom Myers, then we wouldn't be here watching this.
Right.
All right.
That's fair. Yeah.
want to go ahead and put money in my pocket, I'll go ahead and take their money. And you know, if they want to go ahead and come after,
I heard something about you. I'll go ahead. I heard that you.
Patreon, super chat. Well, not super chat. He's not monetized.
He's like Aaron Imhol with that shit.
You fucking like every single time I've ever seen him on anything. I mean, look, he's got his Venmo right there.
Yeah.
And he's always like
so tacky.
His Patreon.
Where you were an alcoholic, or at least where you drank way too much. That's wild. How did that happen, and what was that like?
I love that he goes here. Like,
yeah,
this is how you got to get like it didn't work in this interview. Like they never could break him, but this would be, I think, one of the ways to try. Because he's got a whole guard up about everything else.
Yeah. He's very, very defensive with fucking everything, even the simple questions.
He's already heard that, and he's found a way to just block it. Yeah,
100%. Like Liquid hasn't even seen this, but he's brought up things he said in the past, and I'm like, yeah, he says it. He says the same thing here. He says the same thing here. So obviously, he just repeats the same fucking shit. You know.
That's what I meant about the Jake Tapper thing. It's like they just have a defense
right.
for like their main criticism.
Yeah.
I just started drinking. I had a family. That's on one side of my family, there were Scotch, Irish, Pennsylvania, Dutch coal miners. Another side of my family were, like I said, they were came over here from Ireland. There's a long.
Yep. You know, I'd just like to drink.
I wonder if this shit's even true. He kind of reminds me. I was the other night when I was on with Jake and a few other people. Sobriety came up, and Jake brought it up. He's like, yeah, I haven't had a drink in 5 years. And everyone's like, oh, congrats, Jake. And someone's like, how did you quit? He's like, I just didn't have any in the house, so I didn't drink. So and he says like and it was nice. He's like, you know, my father was an alcoholic, so I didn't want to be. So I think Jake was never an alcoholic and just decided I'm not going to become one. You know, not like an addict. So I wonder if like Tom's the same way. Was he even an addict, or was he just like, just not going to drink anymore? Like he was a casual drinker, you know.
He's probably a casual drinker. He's like Aaron Imholt. He had 4, maybe 5 drinks one night. He was out of control.
My theory.
Sorry, I bumped it.
My theory is there's like a childhood trauma that was probably the core of the alcoholism. I don't know how he was able to get out of it, but I do think he probably used to get really drunk.
Tom?
Like, yeah.
Okay.
I guess that is true. The way he has talked about it in the past.
Okay.
He was probably a ripping out alcoholic.
Gotcha.
I would love to see that. See him drunk.
Maybe he'll be funny then. Jesus.
When you were drinking.
I wish I could remember. I wish I could remember what it was like.
Out.
Yeah. I can't even
get hammered on stream.
I know. God,
maybe that's a good plan, Ava. Maybe we should at Tom Myers. Yeah. Say, have you tried getting drunk on stream?
I was gonna say this before, but like or I was gonna wait till it was over, but like this strategy didn't work. And I think that I want to take a stab at it, and like I think the way to break him is to like come at him like in a really woke way or something like that, and just attack him for like white privilege and things like that, because he won't have like all these canned responses, and just get at him that way, and just try to attack him saying, the reason that you don't even care that you're not funny is because you're a privileged white man.
Because of your white privilege. Yeah. That would be great.
That's actually
That would
pretty
be
good.
so awesome.
Yeah.
I have notes about how I want to do it. Like I think I could probably get him to interview if you give him money or something. I don't know, but hopefully he doesn't see this. But yeah, that's a good idea, right?
That's a great idea.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
dude,
If I do that,
I bet you could absolutely go on his show 100%.
yeah, and just like slam that, but then I just need everyone to know that I'm not really woke like that, but I just feel like that's the
Right.
That's the strategy to get him.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, there was
Really? Was it that bad?
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean,
That's
there was
amazing.
there was one particular show I did. It was in upstate New York. It was outdoors, and we did it outdoors because it was in the middle of August in a heat wave, and the venue had no air conditioning. And so, in order to
Can we ever
my
talk about
nerves
your
before the
drinking? Are we
show-
ever going to?
Well,
Holy
before
cow.
that particular show, I polished off a 6-pack of Yingling, had another beer at dinner, and then everybody just kept buying me shots during the show, and then I ended up doing some more after the show, and I woke up the next morning.
Did anything happen at the show? Did anything happen at
Well,
all?
I woke up. If you shut the fuck up for 2
The
minutes,
next
let me
day.
finish, I'll tell you.
Go ahead.
I mean, you're asking a question. Can I fucking answer?
Can
questions
you?
without you chiming in? I know. I'm trying to.
Yeah, can we pause here?
Yeah.
He was not a drunk.
Right. He's like, this is
Seven beers and several shots is not an alcoholic. I can drink like damn near over. I can drink almost a 1.75 liter of tequila in a night.
Yeah, but look at him. Like 7 beers and a bunch of shots will get this guy drunk.
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah, I guess it all depends.
I mean, I'm to the point now where beer doesn't even affect me. Like I cannot get drunk. I move straight to hungover on about 12 beers.
I'm shocked at how easily John gets drunk, or seems to get drunk, like drinking that much for decades.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
before each stream, he probably like polished off like 4
He's
or
got
5.
he's got to
Oh,
at
yeah.
least get the little buzz going before the stream or something, because you watch him, like you watch a 2-hour stream and you see it, you see the him just getting
Well,
more
John is
sloppy.
definitely at the level to where if he does not drink, he may die.
I agree. Yes.
Yes.
Well, again, too personal. My late father was at that level, and like he tried quitting, so he took that drug where if you drink you get sick or whatever,
Yeah.
and he had to go to the hospital because he started fucking hallucinating. And
No
fucking,
shit.
Yeah, shit. It was fucking crazy.
Yeah,
So
I'm not at that point. I've always known that. I'm an alcoholic. My mom is an alcoholic on all her family side. My dad's alcoholic all on his side.
Yeah.
I know I'm an alcoholic, so I basically only drink when I don't have anything to do the next day.
Gotcha.
That's been my policy for about the past, I'd say 15 years, 10 years, 20 years, or maybe about 10 years. My policy about last year. It wasn't always my policy. My
But so for the
usual
next
policy
day-
was drink as much as I can and we'll worry about tomorrow when it happens.
Tomorrow. Yeah.
I woke up and found that I had to like walk through a landmine. Apparently, the previous night, I kept getting up and walking around and puking so many times that there were like these. I had to walk very carefully to avoid stepping on puddles of puke. So, and I did my best to go ahead and clean it up, and then at the end when I was checking out, I pulled some of the money that they had given me for the show out of my pocket, and the woman who ran this place just pulled it all out of my hand and said, "They should go ahead and help the cleanup fee." Stuck it in her pocket, and I wasn't really in any position to go ahead and do that. So. I wasn't really in any position to fight back or argue or anything because I had a wicked hangover. So
Before we get out of here, real fast, that was great. Before we get out of here, if there's any more questions from the chat, please let us know. I want to know, how would you respond to people who would say that you didn't really answer the questions directly today, that you answered, you spoke, but you really just kind of avoided the point and jumped around and wouldn't really internalize anything that was happening? You kind of have a couple stories, because I've done a lot of research on you, and you keep falling back to these same stories whenever you're asked about these certain topics, because it seems like you don't want to think about them or talk about them in any kind of actual self-reflection.
I mean, if I didn't want to talk about anything, I wouldn't have come on this show. So
That's big of you, man. It's actually
you did
commendable.
Absolutely. And you get points for that. Absolutely. But
No,
in
you
terms
came
of
on this show
direct
for money.
answers,
Who knows? Yeah, I mean, I do give
Came
him
on the
some.
show for money.
Could be. I don't know. But
You
I
don't
get.
think so?
I don't know if they paid him or not, so I have no idea.
Right.
Or
I
at least the
feel-
views. I mean, it's possible.
Whether or
I'd
not
say
they
the only
paid
reason
him.
he came on is because Carl wasn't on.
I'm sure that had something to do with it. And it sounds like he didn't want Vinny on from what Adam said earlier.
I love Vinny's frequency in this too.
Yeah.
His decisions on when to come in.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah, yeah.
like
well,
his whole like I don't know much about
I don't know. I don't think Tom knows anything about Vinny. Well, he didn't until
Apparently, yeah.
he didn't seem real happy that when Adam said that Vinny is a booker at a comedy club and basically works in comedy.
Yeah, so it's like you don't have to like talk to Vinny that way, or he fucking knows more about the shit than you fucking know. But I was just gonna say that story he told for that drunk thing honestly makes me question his even alcoholism. Like that's the most
Right?
interesting story you have. Like I mean, I was a drug addict for 8 years. I got way more interesting fucking stories than.
Oh yeah, I got some great drunk stories.
I might be wrong on this because it's like a earlier like a developing theory. I think that I understand why you're saying that, but I think that he's not being honest about what it was like when he used to drink. I think that's just this other story, but it was probably very dark and messed up, and maybe there's some arrests and God knows what else or some, and I think he's just not being honest about anything about what it was really like when he used to drink, and so he's just kind of giving this generic story. But I could be wrong on that, but I still.
Yeah, no,
There's
you
a-
could be
there's a-
right. Yeah.
Actually, that makes a lot of sense. That could be his funny story that he
Yeah.
made up.
I'll
That-
tell
yeah.
this standard over drinking story that everybody fucking has, whether you're an alcoholic or not. You know,
Yeah, but that's his
Yeah.
funny story that
Right.
he put together to say, oh yeah, this is
Exactly.
what happened, you know. But it was really he woke up to, you know,
yeah,
probably some just really weird dark shit.
Yeah, there's probably
going
like
on.
blood stains on the floor, and, like a carcass, and like a
dead hooker in the
dog.
fucking
Yeah,
bathroom. Yeah,
seriously.
There seems to be a lot of it just you hit a wall, and we won't.
I think I've been very direct. I have to respectfully disagree with your assessment.
Okay,
No, you're
that's fair.
just
I was reading from the
nasty
chat what they said. A
Yeah.
lot of people.
He does get a little snippy. He gets snippy a few times during this when he
that-
feels like he's answered a question. You know,
He
doesn't wanna
thinks
go
by
back.
direct it's like him just being nasty at them, but he's not being direct.
No, he's not been direct at all.
No.
Yeah.
And he also does it when he disagrees. Like when they're trying to ask him about all the comedy shit, like polishing his jokes. Like I answered it. It's like not really. You just
Also, why not get the green screen
Well,
lighting right?
Yeah,
kinda
we were
Why
talking about
not
that.
do
That's
that? I
immediately the
can't-
thing that I said. As I said, you
can't-
can go to settings.
Oh,
All
did
of
you
us
say
right
that?
now can go to settings, go to virtual background, click I have a green screen. I just did it right now.
I mean, it's like, and like WATP isn't like, you know, Johnny Carson back today, but like, it's like, wouldn't you not want, like, isn't that something I would never let that happen.
well,
Just
especially him. He's
Right?
trying to be a professional.
and
you
he's
know,
like a
yeah.
guy that, why not fix the green screen? That
I mean-
to me, that's like a metaphor for like,
Right. You can't tell him
everything else.
anything. Right.
no,
yeah.
everything else is just like, he doesn't put it.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's like you can't put any effort into the simplest of things.
Won't do it. Why
Uh,
should you? Give me money, Venmo, Tom Myers. Why?
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah, maybe if you give him some money on his Patreon, he'll actually work on it.
No, if somebody gave him $1 million and you did another interview, they would be the exact same green screen
Yep.
problem.
Can't tell him anything. That's
No,
like it's
can't.
perfect. Right. Yep.
I feel you're not answering the questions.
Well, I mean, a
agree with that.
lot of the people in the chat are some of them are good. I recognize like some of the names from.
See, this is what we're talking
my-
about. This is
my
the ones who
tweets
say
and
nice things are
everything
good, and the ones who say bad things are not good. So how are you? What happened to the hero who's internalizing all of it and fighting back and reading it all? And
Well, like I said, I read it all and I process it and I go ahead and respond the way I feel I should.
You
as
filter out
direct as
what
I possibly can.
You filter out, you consider the source, and then you filter out which criticism you take as valid, correct?
Correct.
I talk.
Like if it's someone,
I'm not
if it's
economical in
someone who-
words.
If
right?
it's someone who just reads what other people who don't know me at all write about me on Reddit, then that's
How does
like,
somebody get to know you, and who gets to decide what is well enough to know you to have an opinion on it?
I think you're doing that right now, Mr. Bush.
And is that okay, or is that not allowed?
Yeah, I mean, you could literally like trash me as soon as I leave this fucking studio right now, and
We're
and it would
trashing
just be
you
like,
when you're in
okay,
the studio.
showed it, yeah, live. Well, not live. But
I've been watching Chris's face for like the last 20 minutes. It kills me. Like I'm not even
he's
watching anyone
great.
else. Yeah, he just keeps he changes facial expressions like every few seconds.
He's like a bouncer at a Tom
Yeah.
Myers gig who doesn't actually have to do anything.
Tom just is not getting it.
No.
He is
He
not. I don't know if it's willful or
I think he's
if it's
getting
like
it, but he's just
defensive
not.
or
I think he's getting it, but he's not giving it. He's not giving them that. He won't give them that.
He doesn't want to say WATP broke him or got to him or got him to change anything or
is right. Yeah.
Yeah. It's extreme stubbornness. It's fucking crazy.
And I'm not saying he gets it, like actually understands that he's bad. I'm saying he gets that they're saying that.
Yeah.
But he's just not going to give them
Right.
their
The satisfaction. Yeah.
It's just I came on, said my piece. Did I change some minds? Great. If I didn't change any minds, if I didn't have
What
any
would be the
conflict,
mind?
then-
What would be the opinion to change? Like I was saying, I talk too much. I'm not economical in my words. I'm really verbose, and it's the biggest criticism I get. And every time I read it, it's just valid. Even when I am shorter, it's not short enough. I work on it. Every time I see it, I get it. What's one for you? What's a criticism you hear where you're like, yeah, I get that?
I mean, well, a criticism that I hear that I do agree with is like what Vinny was saying earlier, the word economy, which, like I said, is something I work on. I consistently work on it, like every waking moment, even when I'm out and about running errands and everything. That's what runs through my mind. It runs through my mind consistently.
May I
So
throw something at you just to help you?
There's
'cause
no
I
evidence
really-
of that.
No.
I love
There's
that.
no
It's
evidence
like
that he's working on it.
when I'm in line or if I'm have to sit there or and I'm not allowed to do anything else, then yeah, I'll think about it. It's not I sit at home and work on this. It's like, yeah, if I got something else going on and need to kill some time, I'll think about it maybe.
I think I said this to someone before. I actually feel bad shitting on Tom because I write. You two know, Eckel knows, people at work know. I write the way Tom talks. Way too many words, way too fucking long. Every year at work, when I get a review, things to improve on. That's the one thing my boss always picks: more concise, straightforward emails. Blah blah blah. So I'm guilty of it too, but I am fucking very aware of it. I know it's fucking not right. I've tried, but it's like he's almost like proud that his jokes, like he thinks he's, like I said, he thinks he's too smart. His jokes are too sophisticated. That's why they have all these words, and you guys just don't get it, And so that's like the difference. He doesn't have the self-awareness. I'm beating that into the ground, but I've never seen anyone with this little self-awareness in my fucking life.
And I will agree, you write way too much.
Yeah, don't trust me. See, exactly. But like, I'm not gonna like defend that like this fucking guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I know you're working on it.
Right.
Being like recognizing that
have the same
God
problems.
damn it. Yeah. And
yeah. And
also,
working on
like-
that's the best thing. Like
Right.
to me, that's the biggest. I have like it's the biggest thing I try to work on, every day, in every aspect of my life, and he doesn't seem to be doing that.
No, he's the best.
Stuff with word economy. There's a really cool exercise. Do you know who Gene Perret was?
No.
He was a writer
Look
for
at me.
Johnny
Do you think
Carson.
I know who that
And
is?
he wrote a book. It's called Perret Method of Comedy. And one of the things he talks about for word economy is phenomenal. It's a great tool, and it might help you tremendously. You might want to look it up. I'm not going to get into the boring parts of it, but I think it would tremendously help you. And
Boring parts is my job, Vinny.
Waka waka.
I'm being self-deprecating. Jesus, come on.
No,
No
you're being
problem.
defensive.
Listen, I give you credit for coming on. I never thought you would in a million years, Tom.
Yeah,
Would you answer some
I'm
questions
actually
from the chat
surprised
for
by
everybody,
this.
though?
He's
Yeah,
a
sure.
sick man. He's a sick man.
Huh?
He's sick. Tom Myers is.
Like that was self-deprecating to him. Like, okay, dude.
That wasn't. That was passive aggressive. And
Wait, what did you say?
violent.
Vinny was talking about the word association thing. He's like, I won't. Yeah, he's like, I won't get into the boring parts. I was like, yeah, that's my job, and he winks. Like he's not saying, he doesn't think he's boring. He's like taking a jab because you guys said I was boring. You know what I mean? Like,
And
it
also look
wasn't-
at him physically when he's doing that. His like that. It's like an angry wink. Like,
Right,
he can't
right, yeah.
Contain the anger in it.
Yeah, it's more like he's lashing out because they are saying he's boring.
Yes,
Not
he's
yeah.
lashing out. He's
Yeah.
lashing out.
Sure,
Look
I'd
at
love
Chris.
to.
Look at Chris.
And I just look at him the whole time.
Tom, this came from the Black Cast. He gave us $1.99. And he would like to know what's it like to be the funniest one on the screen.
Oh, my bullshit meter is going fucking haywire right now. Oh, Blackcast you card.
No, he means that. He actually means that. He really
Yes,
does.
he
And
does.
he's right.
He's a real prick. ASC Presents gave us $5. Hi, Mint. Have you ever tried Concerta, Vinase, ADHD meds overall, Tom? Oh, that's from Young Clippa.
Oh,
You ever
should I
tried any
know
of
who
that stuff?
is? Oh, no, I haven't.
You ever tried Adderall or anything like that?
Nope.
What's the hardest drug you've ever tried?
Booze, man. That's the hardest.
Only booze?
one. I mean, the hardest. Like, I've never done anything like, recreationally. Like, I've smoked pot once and didn't enjoy it. But like, the hardest thing I ever took, aside from alcohol, because alcohol is a drug, was like hydrocodone. When I had my wisdom teeth
When I had an
pulled.
injury.
And like, one time I had taken it, and I was getting on this real high at the same time that a tornado had struck outside my house.
Sure.
And I just saw shit flying past the window. I was like, whoa, this shit's great. And then
Hydrocodone doesn't make you hallucinate, dude. I can't.
He doesn't know anything about drugs.
Yeah.
But you see that, but that's like some like that's a control thing. Like when people like are like that, like he needs to be in absolute control, and that's a lot of times very, very indicative of like trauma. I think there's something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know
Well,
what
as
you're
I
saying.
was saying earlier, you know, well, as a comedian, most comedians do have a lot of trauma.
He might need a little more just to be a little funnier.
I'm talking about
He needs
specific
that.
trauma.
He had mild trauma. It wasn't very funny trauma, apparently.
all the electricity went out, and then I came to a little bit later, and I thought, oh, that was a bummer. That was a bit of a calm down.
Cool. Hako Burrow wants to know, when was the last time you slept with someone, man or woman?
Fairly recently, Hacko Burrow. And speaking of which, tell your mom I said hi, and that I hope her jaw feels better.
Oh,
damn.
Boom.
And that's a
Hey-o.
standard joke. He says that
Oh.
joke every single time.
You said it just like that's someone who's sexually frustrated right there.
Piece of shit.
God.
Yeah, he literally
fuck
every
your
single
mom.
time somebody asks that question, and somebody will ask it at least once every time he's on.
But look, you see how he blocks the concept of sexuality? Like, just
Yeah.
boom, he's got it. Yeah.
He's so proud of that line too. Look at him, he's so fucking smug.
I'm
You can
sorry,
just say
Hacko.
not for a
Thank
while.
you for the $5.
But seriously, though,
it's a standard go-to line.
And now that you've said the
Oh,
joke,
yes.
what's the
you
answer?
said that.
The answer is it's nobody's business.
Fair enough.
My personal life is my personal life, and if I actually do answer that question, then I'll go ahead and I would dox that person. And
So what would you give it?
That
Over
is-
under.
Yeah.
What do you say? The over under is 10. Over under 10 years.
God, that's a good
So-
one.
Since the
think I
last,
could
I
go-
mean, with that answer like that kind of answer, I'd give the over under
Yeah, it could
at
be over.
10 years.
and he's full of. I'd have to dox. No one said you had to give the name of the person you fucked, dude. They asked how long. You know.
Thank you
Yeah.
for locking in on that,
Yeah.
Nick. That
Yeah.
statement is just stunning. It's like the only way I could even answer a question about if I like last time I got laid, you have to block it by saying, well, I'd have to dox somebody, so I can't do that. And then like that, him covering his ethical grounds that way in this like weird deception and like, do you think, is he has he traveled internationally?
I'm not sure. I don't
I
know
don't think so.
too much about him that much.
I don't think he's traveled interstately.
he's in
toy.
he's in Maryland, right? Is that what he said? Baltimore.
Balmer.
Oh, he's in Balmer.
Balmer or something like that. Everybody seems to think he's in Baltimore.
That's
He
what I thought.
grew
he
up
said.
in Baltimore, but he's in Balmer.
Yeah. Okay.
He's like one of these guys that I think is like he's like into small Asian girls.
Or Filipino
And-
boys, one of the two. Yeah.
Yeah, but
No,
is in no
he's like-
position to get to one.
He's straight, like like he's not like even
got you.
ambiguous or I think so, but I'm working on this theory.
I'm pretty sure
Something like
Tom
that.
is straight.
He's just straight and he's
I-
into like
Yeah.
tiny Chinese girls.
That
Like,
sounded like a sexually frustrated straight man. So yeah, I could agree. Yeah.
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
a lot of
I
options for
agree.
people these days. Maybe he flew to Thailand. That's what I was asking. you.
That's why I thought you meant for comedy.
No, well, right.
I got you.
Like the idea of being with me is rough enough, but to put up with people who hear
Boom.
about me and come up with and put up with me and come after me to then be subjected to those to all that stuff, no.
spoken like a true poonhound. And along those lines,
I'm going.
that's what we've kind of been
I'm
talking
going to
about.
give it the
Is
over.
that
The over
I'm going
that-
over.
on that poon hound. Yeah.
Oh
okay.
no, I said
No, I got
over,
you. Yeah.
over under on 10 years since
10
he's
years,
been
yeah.
late. I'm giving it the over.
Wait, the over 10 years. Okay. What about
Oh,
you, Nick?
I would say over under. When was the last over under 10 years? When was the last time Tom got laid?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
And to his
That's what I'm
credit,
saying.
that's to his credit, that's tough.
Because that's kind of the answer. I would say probably it's got to have been at least 10 years on that kind of answer. You know, it's sort of embarrassing.
I
Yeah,
think he
because
might have gotten laid, but he's so like disconnected, like he's just so not in touch with himself that like he really can't have you know. But I
right.
think it might be possible, and I'm sure like she ran, or he had to pay her, or like he sort of
Well, even still, you could say, last week. You don't have to say, oh, I got a hooker last week.
yeah, but that would mean you'd have to be a whole different person. To,
Yeah,
like,
he could even make something up, be like, "Yeah, I'm not really. God, it's been
But
like
he
6
can't-
months. I'm
he
in a
won't-
drought. You know what I mean?" And boom,
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah, and people are like,
Well, that's what I'm saying. Somebody who has probably been laid in the last 10 years would say, nah, I'm in a kind of a drought right now. It's been like 6-7 months. I don't know.
yeah, something like
It's
that.
I mean,
been
it's
a
like
while.
it's like like whenever like Howard would try to get Mr. T to talk about stuff, or Richard Simmons, or like
Oh, God,
Richard's
Simmons.
different. Richard's different, but like Mr. T, or when people there, or even like Michael Jackson, they can't. You know what I mean? It's like you're a grown man, like you're a comedian, like
Yeah,
what are you acting like that about sex for?
I know. Like, it's a great
Yeah.
point. Is like if it's like, suppose it has been a few years. That's something a comedian would joke about. Dude, I haven't been fucking laid in 2 years. It's and make a joke. You know what I mean? But he's
Yeah.
all
He
defensive
doesn't
and,
even want
He's
to
very serious about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
he doesn't even want to project to his audience or to anyone that he gets laid, which is interesting because a lot of people with that ego would want to do that. And
Yeah,
like,
like John.
he doesn't
Yeah.
even want to do. He doesn't need that, and that's interesting.
I think it's because he's never been laid.
But he would lie, wouldn't he?
Well, yeah, as I said,
If he
but,
need- if
but,
he
but,
wanted-
but like Carl's pointed this out like before on WATP. Carl's pointed out like years ago where he seems to talk about sex like the 40-year-old virgin in the movie, The 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't know how things work or how things feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wonder what's going on in that hard
That's
drive.
what I'm saying. So Carl's under the. I think that's why. Yeah, I think that's why he keeps coming back to it because I think Carl is under the impression that he has never been laid.
Good.
Do you think that Carl is gay?
No,
No.
I don't think so.
Okay,
No.
me neither.
I mean, yeah, I've been wrong. Like I was saying the other day, like I was always shocked when I found out Alex Stein wasn't gay because he always seemed.
Alex Stein is he's one of these. I'll give you a 9. He's a guy that watches trans porn. Like he's one of these guys.
I would not be
Oh,
surprised. Yeah.
probably.
Yeah,
Did you
yeah.
see that?
doubt it.
Did you see that opening bit that he did before that Carl interview on his show?
Oh, with the protesters.
Yeah, that was like the most
protesting.
hack thing I've ever
Yeah,
seen.
just
So,
he's not.
I don't.
I know I disagree. I know I disagree with him, but he actually used to do some decent town hall trolling shit. Now,
Oh, the town hall trolling stuff was absolutely hilarious.
yeah, now, but that shit he was doing, I don't know, it just wasn't funny. That's all. I just didn't think it was funny. Like
It was like
I would
worse
I
than
wouldn't-
Crowder. It was like bad Crowder.
Yeah, like I wouldn't agree with it, but like I didn't agree with a lot of his town halls, but I still found it funny. You know what I mean? I just didn't find
Yeah.
that whole protesting funny.
Yeah, it's not.
but-
I'm not saying on like a political level.
Right,
much as,
exactly,
Like
yeah,
that
comedic
bit,
level, yeah.
African American Elon Musk is just a weak ass bit.
yeah, it's
I honestly think, Alex Stein has sort of gone downhill since he went on the Blaze.
probably,
think he was-
yeah.
I didn't know who he was until that Carl went on his show. Is he like a
Uh,
comedian?
Yeah, yeah.
Like-
Well, he used to do a bunch of like crazy town hall stuff where he'd be like, he'd go in as like the craziest sort of what would you say, like a
Yeah, TYT and Jank used to cover his shit off, and they used to like him back in the day. It's
Oh,
pretty.
I bet
funny.
they
I'm
like
sure-
him again too.
Probably, yeah. I'm sure I can dig some shit up, but yeah.
But yeah, he'd go in as like a guy and like he'd
He'd
go
be in
in
these-
like a
yeah, these
furry or
costume.
like a
Yeah, like a fur, or he'd be like, I think he's done something where he was in like a fucking, was it a bikini
Or like he was like a
or a fucking?
tra-
oh,
yeah,
he-
it's like in a bikini or like a trans person. He'd
Yeah.
take the man,
I'm blanking.
can't
Too.
think
It's
of
been
the
a while.
word.
but yeah,
He would wear a bikini.
Yeah, he dressed. I'm trying to remember. I think
See,
there's a.
this is what I'm talking about. These guys,
He would
him
basically
and
do,
Crowder,
like,
they
oh-
all want to be women.
Yeah.
yeah, he'd just be no, he would do he just does these like over the top sort of what is it when you have like when you have like an idea of a kind of person
like
When you're the person doing a bit and you have an idea about a person, or you?
Well,
have an
no,
idea
like when you
about
have
him?
like an overall sort of opinion of a general type of way that this person would be, like you have like a general um sort of idea of how trans people are, for
Mhm.
instance.
Yeah.
The word is escaping me. I don't know why, but he would like, go in as like these people, like a blue-haired, liberal or free Palestine type person, but he would take it to like the absurd sort of edge.
I just remember
like Matt Walsh level, like when Matt Walsh.
No. This is like more of a
Like the-
comedy type level, like an absolute absurd level, and he would do it in front of like all these town meetings. He'd be.
And it was good.
Oh, it's funny.
Yeah, I
Funny as hell.
remember one. There was like a COVID one, like during COVID. Instead of
Oh,
just
yeah, he had,
random, he had like full scrubs on, and then
He had
not
like
just a
5
mask.
masks. He
Yeah,
had
and all
like
this shit. So
yeah,
Well,
he
you
had
guys-
like one
you guys-
mask with holes over his for his eyes, and one over his nose, and one over his mouth, and I had like 2 over his ears, and complaining about people not masking.
Will you message me some of these? I want to see them.
yeah, I'll dig some up. Yeah, I was even thinking of like
They're
going.
mostly on X.
My buddy brought it up. Like they'd actually be good to go over on maybe the channel someday, going over some of them because he's he's Dabble versus adjacent and it's political shit. So
Yeah.
could be good shit.
Did you like that? Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I always derail our show. I'm trying to be disciplined with you out of respect.
Okay, that's fine. All right.
Let's finish this
I
off.
try not to make jokes about things I don't know about. So if I'm not an avid pot smoker, bong user, I would not make a joke involving bong hit transplant. If I haven't had my heart broken or had a lot of partners, I wouldn't base my act on love and relationships. They talk about writing what you know, and sometimes the subjects feel outside of your reach, and the things that you know about, we would love to hear about, but those might be too vulnerable or revealing and stay a little tucked under.
Also, like a lot of the early stuff I wrote when I was a raging drinker and like a raging alcoholic. So
Are you blaming alcohol for the bong transplant joke?
yes.
Okay.
I mean, if you really want me to explain it, then I have to go back to
just
drink.
literally like a few days ago, as we were saying earlier, wildly defended the bong hit transplant as one of his best jokes because everybody talks about it all the time.
What is that
Just
joke?
a couple of days ago. Oh, he's the joke is he was in line and the guy in front of him like had a whole bunch of munchies and stuff, and
Do it. Liquid. Do it as him. Like do.
no, I don't know the actual. The joke is retarded. Anyway, the guy says, "Oh, I'm getting all these things for my girlfriend or wife or whatever. Girlfriend, she just had surgery." And Tom said, "Well," I said, "What'd she have? A bong hit transplant?"
Again, not knowing how. He just knows pot gives you munchies and thinks that joke works or something because that's all he knows. Yeah. The guy that thinks hydrocodone makes you fucking hallucinate or whatever he thought.
Then I have like 13 years and close to 13 years and 4 months.
Because you see, to the outside, all we saw, and this is why I love you, Tom, and this is why I love this whole world, is, we said, what drug have you tried? And you're like, oh, this one, not that one. Someone says, when's the last time you got laid? And you're like, fuck you and fuck you. I don't have to answer that. Yes, I'm exaggerating.
I didn't.
But it was
yes,
you're right,
that was a big exaggeration.
Sure.
And
Whatever it was. You weren't going to
and
answer
I
that.
made a
Going with the over.
Oh, yeah.
funny, and then
okay, and then didn't answer the question because you were offended and it was too much, and then spoke about how it's your personal life and no one has the right to ask.
I wasn't offended.
Forgive me. We can go over the details, but we know what happened.
Answer a question.
I have a
If I
good
don't
one.
want to answer a question, then I'm
The
not.
fact that you just went about one and not the other, it's always revealed.
I'm not. I can't say I don't want to answer a particular question.
Would you answer the one on the screen right now for me? It's
why
Tom.
did you kill?
It's Tom F. Mary Kill, Vinny, Adam, Chris, and why did you kill Vinny? That's what everybody wants to know.
I can tell you why I killed Vinny. Damn it, you're pissing me off right now. No.
Ooh.
I just gave you the out on there, pal. I helped you out there. Don't you?
He can't even roast. Like it's like
He's got mega like laugh cry emoji vibes. Like he's
got
crying
that-
on the inside.
Get sassy with me. All right. Cupcake Corner with American Cupcake. Thanks for the 10 spot. Tom, 5 minutes ago, you said when people criticize you for being too wordy, you don't change a thing. Now you're saying when criticized, you do change. Very womanly of you to contradict yourself.
Scratch
like
the
that.
last part of that. Just answer the first part. You don't even need.
Hey, he paid $10. I'm going to read his question.
Yeah,
that's
$10
Carl
$10 is $10, man. Come on.
I don't want to use
You gotta
ending
give him
to
this,
avoid
man.
the beginning. Answer that if you don't mind.
I don't think I contradicted myself. I think I've said throughout is that I'm always trying to improve. So,
Well, stop trying. Whatever you're
Okay,
doing
did
is
we
not
ask-
working.
Have you
Yeah.
ever tried? Have you ever tried
Have you
not
tried
doing
not
that, doing
trying?
something different?
Right.
Yeah. Have you tried not trying?
Have you
This
tried
one
the
already?
opposite of what you're doing?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Sorry about that.
Did, yep.
Okay. Better one. Barrister 1401. Thanks for the $2. Tom, what is the quickest you've ever walked a room? I'll tell you the quickest I ever walked one if you tell me the quickest you ever walked one.
Oh, I think it was within the first 3 minutes of my set. I just started like this again. This is during my drinking days. Sorry for blaming booze again, everybody.
Fuck
I just started
Yingling.
yelling at this day.
Oh.
I
Yeah,
just started.
he blames the booze for his worst stuff, and then he blames his genetics for the booze.
He's a coward.
Yeah. And
He
then,
doesn't blame himself for anything.
and if you don't get his jokes, you're just not, intelligent enough to understand the.
And
Are
if
you
they're
getting-
bad, it's
Yeah.
because he was a drunk, and he's a drunk because of his genetics.
Are you when you title your video? Is it gonna have that you're covering this in it?
Yeah, I'm gonna change it. Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
says that, or it doesn't?
No, it
'Cause
doesn't say it right now because when I know what
If
we're
it-
gonna talk about, yeah.
If
I
I have
usually
any
do it.
vote, can you not do that? Because I really want to interview. I think I want to go out. I want to go for this.
All right.
and
Yeah.
If he sees me talking shit on him, then that's
Oh,
gonna-
not fair enough. Yeah.
But do whatever
absolutely.
you want. Do whatever you want.
No. That's fine. Absolutely.
No, that's a
not a-
decent
yeah.
plan.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yelling at this one table, and they didn't want to hear any of it.
Hmm.
So they ended up walking. So
For me, it was never.
that's wuss. What a pussy
I'm
you
just
are!
fucking-
Jesus
yeah.
Christ! Come on.
I'm just fucking.
I've had meetings or auditions or things go be such a tremendous bomb that I spent the next like 6 months just not trying to bomb, and it took me a while to realize that these little not bombings I was having were not successes. I was just avoiding this thing I was afraid of. I wasn't actually winning or getting better, and I often see a lot of that in you. That kind of stasis, kind of. Well, it didn't go horrible, so we're just gonna stay
Sometimes
right
I
here
used to be in
instead of
denial
taking some.
about things that were bad about me. I see a lot of that in you.
It's- God, I would love to like do something with it. Like we were talking about earlier. I don't know what could do with Adam, but I would just love to just talk with this guy in a fucking stream about people and
I know exactly what I want to do with him. Like especially after watching this now with you guys.
there you go.
I want to get at him. I want to do it.
It's fun but scary at the same time. But yeah, we're rooting for you, Ava. We're rooting for you.
Real risks and talking about the things that you can speak on. You always remind me of that character from Punch Drunk Love that Adam Sandler plays. And it's like, yeah, you wouldn't want to see that guy as a comedian, but if he did, I think I would have to see it. Like I wouldn't want to miss it. And I would want to see you talking about those things, like the small little things that go on in your life, like whatever it was you wouldn't talk about when you got drunk or in your love life. Those are the things that are interesting.
Have a drink and tell us about them.
If you don't mind.
Yeah, then nobody will see me for like a month, which I think would make. I have a feeling that would make quite a few people in this chat very happy if I did that.
Kyle X, thanks for the $2, wants to know, can I submit jokes to you?
You know what?
100% legit here.
Real positive.
Heck,
clip.
Yep.
Is Tom
Uh.
doing like the whole Aaron Imholt thing where he's like doesn't know what to do with his hands?
You know what's funny? I swear a second ago Adam Bush was holding a fucking toothbrush, and all of a sudden he wasn't. So I don't know what the fuck's going on.
I think he's
No
mad.
problem.
He's mad, and he's like when he's angry, guys. Like he probably is gonna have like after this, he probably like stab like a calendar or like a picture of something. Or, like
No, he's had this
he's
pencil in
so
his hand.
angry.
Yeah, he's got a pencil in his hand.
Yeah,
I
he's
saw that.
he's mad right now.
But now he's got like an arm behind the chair.
That's what I'm saying. There's probably either a knife or like.
I'm
It's a
Italian,
good
so my
thing you
hands
know
are
there's
always,
nobody else in the house.
yeah, nope. Maybe under the house, but no one
Bush
in the
is pissed.
fucking house.
Bush is pissed too. This guy broke Bush. Like, he got Bush pissed off.
Yeah, I know. It's like the first guy he couldn't fucking totally
I-
break. Yeah.
Anybody can submit anything. So
Tom, this is a tough one, but this is a question that I actually think is very valid, and I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. The greater good, thanks for the $4.99. Tom, he is stating nobody gets the opinion of you from Reddit. WATP actually reviews your stuff in context, and it's better than selective editing ever could be. Now,
Oof.
I know in the past you've accused Carl
Uh-oh.
of selective editing on your shows when he's critiqued you in the past. How would you respond to this?
well, I can respond to this, and then I do have to get going
I
after
gotta
this
go.
one.
I have one more question
coming up
after
on
that, and no problem.
Okay. I mean, I would say like in the context, like when you review episodes of Tom Myers versus the rest of the world, like the context is like it's supposed to be like a current events and social issues podcast. So like it's set up in that particular context. It's not like a live stage show. It's I discuss things that have gone on and I write jokes about them. So like to go ahead and treat it as if it's just a regular stand-up set is kind of I find it anyway to be misleading.
I think you're doing it backwards,
Yeah.
if I may. I think the show that you should have the most polished, quickest jokes are the ones that are going to be out there going to a ton of people versus the ones that are just going to be in a room somewhere, in a workout room like you described it.
You know, like a
Right.
special.
All those specials he has. Yeah.
You know, like what people do.
I mean, but
Well, it's exactly what Vinny says. It's like he's got his podcast there, Tom Myers versus the rest of the world, and he's got that monologue. As I said, it's terrible,
Yep. Unbelievable.
and the
But-
politics isn't any better.
No, like
What does he say about politics?
He has basically the stuttering John view of
yeah,
most things.
he's the
If-
standard Democrat.
If you've watched
bullshit.
Stuttering John's show, you know all
Yes.
of his
Yeah.
you know all of his positions on everything.
but like I said, the jokes that I would tell on the podcast aren't the same ones that I'm doing on stage. So
Okay. So you like
that's a completely different. They're two. It's like you're comparing apples and oranges basically.
I'm sorry,
I just
I'm
find
not trying to-
whenever
Those shouldn't be
anybody
apples
has some
and
criticism
But they shouldn't be. Yeah.
of your work, they're wrong. The delivery's wrong. The word is wrong. And then you say, I'm open to it. But somehow I don't specifically. I can't.
I mean,
find out what it is.
I disagree with your I just disagree with your assessment though.
All right.
Thank you
Can
for
I ask you a direct,
demonstrating my point.
a direct question?
And
the
with
jokes
that,
on this
we are going to let you
political
go because
show
you
are
mind telling
supposed
us
to be
where you have
bad.
to be right now. I think everybody should know Tom actually does have a very specific heart out that I think our audience would enjoy.
I love
It's
this.
a meeting that I have where I'm actually it's something big coming up in the works, and I'm not quite ready to
Okay.
announce it as of yet. So
Okay.
it's going to be
Okay.
watch
So
this
then
space, as
after
they say.
you booked this with me and after you told me that
we
this
went
was the
we
day
went
you
over
could do,
this. We
you
went
said
over
you have a
this.
hard
Well,
out because you have a thing at 6:30 that you just wanted to have in your back,
Pause it.
which by the way,
I love. the
Why
hard
do
out
all
of
these
60.
people, why do all these locals like Tom Myers, Opie?
Are you eating?
Yeah, I just had Swedish fish. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I
Swedish
love
fish.
those. That's good shit.
I know
Yeah,
that's-
but it just yeah, they're chewy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, but why do all these people like Tom Myers and Opie and Chad Zumach and John? You know, all these people that are like this, they always have something coming.
Yeah.
There's always something in the works that never materializes, but they always got something big right around the corner.
Because they got to control everything.
And
I mean,
this
we
guy-
all know he has nothing big right around
Right.
the corner, right?
Yeah,
and he's
so-
even worse because at least with John, people will wait. Okay, like if John has something, most of us are interested in hearing. I don't give a fuck what Tom Myers is like. He could book a movie and I wouldn't give a shit. You know what I mean? So
I
No,
just
no,
love
it's- I'm getting into him, so I probably,
Okay.
I probably, will. I think Tom Myers has a very good chance to be the stuttering John of dabbling in politics.
he could be
No,
our guy.
John. Am I wrong in this? Like, John is like. There's something about him that's like.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
It's what
It's
Howard
crazy.
said. He's
Yeah.
like where Howard was like, there's like a naivete to you when you stutter and you stammer and you don't understand why people are laughing, like that. There's something charming about that. Tom Myers is absolutely unlikable in every possible way. Or am I wrong? It's John also.
I find John.
I
very-
would buy John a beer and just to hang out with him and record and record it.
Yeah, I feel like if we weren't part of this Dabbleverse and it's just like you just get drunk with him, I feel like it'd be kind of funny. I mean,
Yeah.
as long as you placate him,
Yeah,
I think Tom is probably wouldn't be fun to hang out with at all.
No,
no.
For anything, doing anything.
At least John's been late in the last 10 years. Not as often
Yes,
as he claims, but yeah.
John's cooler than Tom.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
John would be much more fun to hang out with than Tom.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I obviously had my thing with John, but if I hadn't, we probably would be fine if we had beers together or something. Well, I don't drink, but you know what I mean. He'd probably be fine.
yeah.
I texted John yesterday.
Did you?
Did he get back to you?
Yeah,
Oh,
What did he
he?
say?
he said that. Give me a pull up. So he hasn't after I super chatted this Chili show, he emailed me a bunch of angry things, and then we never spoke. We never spoke again.
Yeah.
And so for some reason I texted him. I said, "Hi, Because he called me. That's why I have his phone number.
Oh, gee.
And he says who, and I say Ava, and then he says Ava who, and I say Raiza, and then it's just left on red for 10 minutes, and then I texted him, "Are you mad at me?" And then he blocked me.
Sounds about right.
What does he mean, Ava who? How many Avas
know.
does he know?
Jesus Christ.
Good on you. Good to have it out. You don't know what the fuck this is. This was a lion's den. You stepped into it and you stayed the whole
gave
time.
me-
You didn't need to make up a
you gave me-
pretend meeting with, I won't say who,
This
but
is
it's a
not a
hilarious
pretend
punchline.
meeting.
Once again, you're
This is not
avoiding
a
the
pretend
real
meeting.
joke
This
is
is
this
not a pretend
punchline of
meeting.
where
You
you
told
said
me-
you have to go. Because when
you
I tell
told
Carl
me
you had to leave
5:30.
WATP to go see.
You told me 5:30, and it was my fault for not double checking for
Yes.
which segment and everything. I'll go ahead and take the.
I'm sorry, it's not the Tonight Show.
You told me it was a particular. You told me a particular.
I just thought you knew how the podcast worked. I said it's at
I'm
5:30.
just. I
You said I have a hard out at 6:30 because I got to go to meet this other comic that I won't say
I
who
just
or
run,
what.
I just run my show differently than yours. I tell people it's going to be from this time to this time, and that's the way I run my show.
But you
I'm
do or
sorry,
don't have a
Nicole.
hard out.
I'm sorry, I do.
Well, thank you very much for being here with us.
Can I
Really
sneak in
special.
one more?
How much you have me on?
Tom,
Please, Vinny.
last question. What did you do with the money
What money?
that your mom gave you for comedy classes?
It felt good. I got to be honest. It felt good.
Jesus Christ.
I had so many questions about it. Damn it.
Why did okay.
That was a good close.
I like
on that.
Vinny's reaction there. Just like, I don't know what just happened. What is it?
Oh, all right.
Oh, that was
Fuck.
good. I like
Yeah,
that.
I can't believe we made it through. I thought there was no. Obviously, we ran long, but
didn't
we
wanna
still made
stop.
it. Yeah, all good, man.
I honestly
right.
really have to pee, and I really want to smoke watching Ava smoke.
Oh, sorry. You got to get a whole cigarette filtration rig.
Nice.
I've
All
got-
right.
Okay.
No, I'm in a hotel room right now. I'm in Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
How's your trip going?
Oh, pretty good.
Cool.
It's looking like Kentucky is so far the favorite place.
Oh, that's.
Wow.
I don't think I've been there. Yeah, I don't think I've been there as an adult, at least.
Yeah, it's nice out here.
Tell Mitch McConnell we said hello.
I will. Oh wait, I didn't look. He's the senator from Kentucky.
I
I
believe
can
so,
vote him
right?
out.
Yeah.
I wonder if we can primary his ass.
I would be shocked if he ran again. He keeps like
He's not
freezing
running.
up and shit. You know what I mean? He's,
Well,
I'd be
that's
shocked
not,
if he
that's not going to be the
lives
reason
to-
why he
to-
doesn't
to
run.
run
again.
yeah, he's fucking.
But yeah, it's
83.
really nice out here. I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, I've been to so few states. I literally took a road trip when I was 18 down to Virginia Beach. So it's like from Massachusetts down to Virginia Beach and back. And
That's
Then
pretty
all the
long
new-
haul.
right.
You're one of those mass holes where it's like you're the only time you go on vacation is like
Yeah.
to like Cape Cod or something.
Well, I was just gonna say I've been to every New England state. I've been to Cape
Okay.
Cod a bunch of times. Yeah, but that's about it. Yeah.
It's not really. It's everyone. The only place anyone's ever been is Myrtle Beach, and then
Nice.
yeah.
Well, I mean, in your defense, you got to go through New York and that area to get anywhere south of you. So you know,
Yeah. It's,
in your defense, I can understand why you wouldn't want to do that.
gotcha. Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for joining.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, it was a
Oh,
blast.
absolutely, it was a lot of fun.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Liquid.
that was
Thank you,
that was
Alva.
great. I'm glad you suggested we watch that. I wasn't expecting to get through it either, but God, I didn't want to stop.
I feel like the same way I felt when I first heard it. He just makes me like angry. Yeah.
I'm-
But yeah, it's good. Yeah, thanks for her. And I hope you have a really good rest of your trip, Liquid.
All right, thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know when it'll be done, but
Yeah. What? Okay, never mind.
Wow,
yeah, I
this
have
is
no idea. Like the original plan was like the end of next week, but it's probably going to be sort of the middle of the week after.
so that.
Those are the best trips if you have the ability to play it by ear.
That's why I'm doing it. It's like
Yeah.
it's the first time in my life where I've always wanted to do this, and it's the first time I've ever had the time and the money
Yeah.
Yeah.
to do it. You know, it's always I have the money but not the time, and I have the time but not the money.
I finally broke that last December. I went to Europe and for the first time, and I kind of did it like that, where I had these like benchmarks, but then I called an audible and started playing it by ear. And those, yeah, I've never got to do it before then, and that was fun.
Oh, it's so much better when you're just like, well, I kind of want, you know, it starts off with this is just going to be this much time, and then it's like, it's not, it's going to be longer than that because I have too much stuff that I want to go do.
Yeah, because once you get certain places and it brings that out of you, then you can find a way to make it work and stay longer. That's the
Oh,
best thing.
exactly. And
I'm
you
glad
find
you're
stuff that
having
now
fun.
all of a sudden you know you're interested in things.
Yeah, exactly.
All
Anyway,
right,
yeah, I should probably
yeah.
go. I should probably leave my neighbors alone and stop yelling.
Because if you let that sound sit for another second, I'm gonna start talking and bringing up a million things with you also.
Oh,
Yeah, I know
Ava,
it's
you-
already been over 2 hours, so we should probably end this before Ava gets into it.
yeah, Ava had a
I've
long
been
night
very
last
disciplined.
night.
I've been very. I
You
did.
have.
Yeah.
We're very proud of you.
Yeah. Well, I apologize for previously not doing that.
No,
No, you no. Real quick, Liquid. Did you see Ava on well in the chat on MLC last night? MLC went like all fucking night last night. He made like $2,000 or some shit.
I did
I
not.
feel like
Yeah,
he went to war on me. Like he
yeah. He
like,
was
be
fighting with
went-
Ava, and then
Did you see the parts where he was like ranting about me? Like, cause he
I missed a
kept
lot.
bringing me back. He kept bringing me back up over the course of like 3 hours.
Yeah, I caught everything after I talked after we were DM'd or whatever, but he can't rewind his shit when it's live, so I couldn't go back. So I caught some of it, and then Mr.
hope
Kill
somebody-
Everything, and yeah,
Yeah,
and
then that happened after
yeah,
all
it was
that.
Mr. Kill Everything and Ashley's show after that, so it was fucking crazy.
I got some.
Yeah,
good
I rely
super
heavily
chats
on the
in.
Clippers with MLC.
Yeah, I'm bummed that like, yeah, I got some good super chats in of just brutally insulting him in response that he read out loud. It was really cathartic. He didn't read. There's one he didn't read, and I thought it was very fascinating because that was the one that he couldn't handle. But I hope somebody has it.
About his wife leaving, that's when I saw
No,
that.
he was fine. He was fine with that one. There's one where I said that he looks like a boiled worm with a confusing hairline wearing a headset. That's the one he couldn't do.
Of all things.
I know the other ones were more brutal than that, but
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys. I'll end it. I'll obviously talk to you guys during the week, and good luck with your Tom Myers mission. Ava, we'll keep this under
should I
wraps.
pursue that? Should I pursue this? Or is it he not?
Absolutely. I even mentioned on the show I'd fucking pursue him if I thought he'd come on. So yeah, you do your
Of
thing.
the three of us, I guarantee you could get on.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I would give it a shot.
Because as I said, he's like John. He wants to, he wants
And he's-
to transmit his virtue.
Right, and he's
Right.
friendly with Shuli, so you've gone TSN. You know what I mean? So
And it's right. Like it's not. I feel like it's not funny to like try to engage him about the comedy. It's more about just breaking that wall he has up and just like playing with his
yeah,
head.
right.
Yeah.
Use his political virtues against him to try and get that
Yes.
wall down. That's a great strategy you came
Thank
up
you
with.
for
Yeah.
letting me run
Absolutely.
that by you because that's what I think needs to happen. I'm gonna work on that. I'll probably run it by you.
Yeah,
like,
let us know.
ideas.
Sounds good.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, guys. Thanks everyone.
Thank you. Thanks for having me again.
Yep.
Have a good night, guys.
Liquid Cryptid, wanna keep my mama, baby. Lean left, he leans right. Hands up now, hands down. Tell me what you vote now. You say it now, Democrats out. Hands up now, hands down. Wall up, tell me what you gonna vote now. Dabbling, 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 dabbling. Keep dabbling, 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 dabbling. Come on. Keep dabbling, 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 dabbling. 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 You may also like political stuff, dabbleverse stuff. Mumbling, pineapple stuff, dabbling, controversial stuff. Now I know y'all be loving this shit right here. NICK mumbling is right here. People in the house, put them hands in the air. Cause if you don't vote, then we don't care. 1, 2, 3 times 2 to the 6. Jonesing for your fix of that dabbling politics mix. Where the fudge you at, punk? Shut the fudge up and back the fudge up while we fudge this track up. On your flags up, on your flags up, on your flags up, on your flags up, on your flags up. Retort in, now retort out. Hands up now, hands down. Back up, tell me what you're gonna duck now. Republicans in now, Democrats out. Guns up now, hands down. Black up, tell me what you're gonna vote now. Dabbling, 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 dabbling. Keep dabbling, 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 dabbling. Come on. Keep dabbling, 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 dabbling. Keep dabbling, 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 dabbling. Keep dabbling, 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 dabbling. Keep dabbling, dabbling. shoot you thing right here. Yo, we're doing it all the time, so you better get some better views and get saved up on your dime. So we got the gang set, so don't complain yet. 24/7, never begging for a rain check. Old school dabble is blasting out the political shit. The passion for shit, put you bounce in the dabble pit. On your flags up,